We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and, of course, SidescrollersPodcast.com. What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. It is Finish Strong Friday. Hey, Stuttering Craig, good to see you guys. Glad you're here. Man, we got a lot to talk about today and a couple great guests. Very excited, but first, as always, the wonderful Guamanian Princess. Hello, Blabs.
Oh, hello. Whoa. Okay, hi. Anyway, yes, it's Friday. Do you think this week flew by? Because it actually has for me.
Yes, it has.
Yes.
It's been a very, very quick week, for sure. Like a Indiana Jones
Whip.
crack of the whip.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything this week?
Yes. Yes. I have to think about it for a second. I'm like, no, Razor Fist and I did a little bit of a deep dive on Gorlock and stuff like that on Tuesday, so I learned that stuff.
This was you there.
Powering up.
And the thing is, now I've even finished the music. Oh, you killed the music, Blabs. That's good.
I didn't touch anything. That was all you.
I know. It is me.
That's
always.
right. The only time I kill the music is when you're underwater and I save it.
You're
You're welcome.
Good point. All right. Well, look, we got a couple great guests today joining us. First time in a long time. Glad he's back.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this magical, majestic, amazing beard. It's Shagsworth.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Look at him. Look at that. Look at that smile, that beard. Just what a great looking young man over there.
It's 2025. There's nothing to be upset about. We're in the second day. It's beautiful. You know, it's nice
It's
and
the
it's actually
third
warm.
day,
Yeah, we're in the
Shagsworth.
Is it the third day? I'm sorry, third day. I don't know.
Time is fleeting for Shagsworth as well.
January 3rd, buddy. All right.
Sorry.
Well, glad you're here. How's everything going for you?
Really good, really good. Like I said, this year's been going pretty well. Reinvigorated with a little bit of I don't know. Like I just feel like it's the year for me. So
Right.
I'm feeling great, and I'm glad to kind of start off my new year with you guys. Yeah.
Love the positive vibes, man. Positive vibes only. Here
Hell
on
yeah.
Side Scrollers. Positive. Well, when you think positive vibes, I definitely think of the wonderful N64 playing son of a gun. It's Moonshot. How are you?
Hi. Hey, thanks for the intro. I appreciate it. I'm feeling also reinvigorated. There's something
Oh.
about it being the fourth day of the year that
It's
just
the third day. Third day, Moonshot. Third day. I think we established that about 15 seconds ago. But,
just in case.
okay, we're good. We're good. Blabs, are you feeling reinvigorated?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've been staying up reading manga, so I don't sleep.
Blabs, the dark cloud over here, just hanging over the show at all times.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad you guys are with us as well. Hopefully you're feeling reinvigorated as we just plow through the wall, the 2025 wall like Kool-Aid Man busting through.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. No, it's Macho Man. Macho Man busting through the wall.
What? No,
Wait,
he
Kool-Aid Man says, oh yeah?
This is yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know, but he doesn't sound like, ooh, yeah.
Yes, he does. He's got this deep voice and everything. Oh, yeah.
All right, get the clip. Get the
Yeah,
clip.
I'm getting it. I'm finding it.
Shags, do you have a Macho Man? Everybody has a Macho Man.
Oh, you mean like? Can I say it? Is that what
Yeah.
you want me to do? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Moonshot, you got one?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely not what I was going for right there, but I love it.
All right, listen. Here
what's
we
that?
go. I'm just going to pull
Kool-Aid
this
Man.
up.
You ever get dizzy?
Oh, whoa, 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 yeah.
Kool-Aid Zero Sugar Jam.
See?
That's not what Blabs. That's not what we're talking about.
Kool-Aid.
No,
You
no,
need
no,
to be
no.
to the like breaking through the
Yeah,
brick
they're breaking
wall.
through the wall.
I guess
Yeah,
find
like
it.
coming in at 2025,
Breaking.
like.
All right. Well, while Blabs finds that,
I found it. 1984.
Play harder than anybody else, and there's nothing like a kid big first.
Oh yeah, I'm on my way.
You can feel it coming on, and you got to have some.
Here I come to save the day.
Got to have some now. Kool-Aid to the rescue. One more kid big first.
So I see refreshing and bright, yeah.
Got to have some more. All right. It's Kool-Aid to the rescue. The one more kid.
Kool-Aid brand soft drink mix.
For a kid's big thirst.
I've never seen this commercial in my life.
But is that like are we in like a Mandela effect with the oh yeah being a macho man kind of voice? Because
No, but he does it.
they do
This
it
is
in
like the
Family
Fruit of
Guy.
the Loom conspiracy thing where we
Yeah.
all just remember it wrong and
Yep.
get gaslit by a company.
can we?
Wait,
I
wait,
just-
wait.
real
Wait.
quick. No. You're done looking at commercials.
No, here we go.
You forgot the picture.
Oh no.
God damn it! He doesn't say it.
Blabs,
See?
you're fired.
No.
You're out. Look, can we just stop for a second and really talk about how amazing that 80s commercial was, that when the two referees bumped into each other, creating a single shirt, uniting the two referees. Like, what brilliant marketing that is. I love everything about that. Well, as we frantically search through the internet for the best Kool-Aid advertisements featuring Kool-Aid Man busting through walls, I'd like to remind you guys we are live over at rumble.com/sidescrollers. Do us a favor, follow us over there as we continue to grow, closing in on 10,000 followers over there, which is wonderful. We also have that X account where you could have found out that Shagsworth and Moonshot were going to be on the show if you simply follow us over there. We're going to work on being live over there sooner than later. We'll get it back. We also have that Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do, so foster means and clips of the show. Otherwise, some sort of violence upon you and your sandwiches and Chinese food. I had Chinese food for breakfast, that's all.
No wonder you're not reinvigorated. You didn't sleep and then you woke up and ate Chinese food. Blabs.
Yum.
Life choices.
What do you mean? My first time ever having Chinese food in like months.
Wait, no, hold on. Big pet peeve of mine. You can't say the first time I've ever had Chinese food in like months, because when you say ever, that includes ever, right? I hate when people go, it's the first time ever this year.
You're like one of those who's like literally, you
literally-
can't say literally.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Well, anyway, I had amazing Singapore Maython.
Well, you literally need to shut up.
Why? I like shrimp.
You had shrimp in the morning?
Yeah. It was like
Shrimp's
10 a.m.
I'm with Moonshot on this. What
This
a,
is ridiculous.
10 a.m.
Breakfast is the best meal of the day.
not breakfast anymore,
And
it's
you
like
just
10
like
a.m..
bypassed it. That's disrespectful.
I
Oh,
think
that's why
10
you
a.m. 's
love breakfast food.
10 a.m. is the earliest for shrimp. Anything earlier, like, because you're getting into like brunch, lunch, or, you know, you get a pass, Blabs, but you're right on the edge.
listen, can we get a poll in the chat, please? I know
No.
everybody. No, everybody hit the thumbs up. Shrimp before 10 a.m. or not?
Shrimp
Yes or
and
no?
shrimp.
No. There's definitely rules when it comes to eating shrimp, and that's one of them. You can have Chinese food anytime you want, but you do not eat shrimp before 10 a.m. But I would also like to encourage everybody to head over to Apple Podcast and Spotify. Find the show over there. It's been really fun having the full video version of the show over there as well. Of course, head over to sidescrollerspodcast.com. Become a supporter if you'd like. We'd really appreciate that. And of course, if you're new, hit the subscribe button. Join the 112,000 just normal men who have found common sense in the video game and entertainment space. And let's do our best once again to hit that 1,337 thumbs up. That is our goal every single show. Hit it yesterday, which is great. And of course, I want to encourage you guys to head over to sidescrollersmerch.com. Go pick up some brand new merchandise. Picked it up, got the brand. Oh, here it is. Got it on right now.
Ooh.
Check it out. Boom! The new
I
Challenger
love the
shirts.
mic was in the way. It's like boom. Mic.
Boom! Right there. Let's go pick it up. Sporting it today. Looking sharp. Got everybody on it. It's good. So yeah, head over there. It's good. Blabs, we always like to start the show off with today in video game history. So please fill us in.
Okay, well, it's shit. I'm just
Okay.
letting you know. Anyway, January 3rd, there's like, listen, guys, it's slim pickings, okay? We got Vanishing Point releasing in 2001. We have Mech Platoon releasing in 2002. And then we have Counter-Strike Condition Zero releasing in 2004. Yay!
Okay, I gotta be honest here.
Slim pickings.
No. There are, yes, there are slim pickings today, but there are some noticeable games on this list that you did not include today, including Super Chinese Fighter for the Super Nintendo, which I've never heard of that before, but sounds pretty fun. Super Chinese Fighter. Also, Jazz Jackrabbit. Has anybody ever heard of Jazz Jackrabbit before? Anybody know that game? No. So that was the first game that I believe Cliff Bleszinski made back in the day. Jazz Jackrabbit. It came out on the Game Boy 22 years ago in 2003. Also, the horrible remake of NFL Blitz. The 2012 version was released for the PlayStation 3 13 years ago today.
What I feel like Eric from You Mean the Movies has that game.
He's wrong. You should have gotten rid of that game as soon as you had an opportunity.
I feel like he has that game.
Because I bought it, I played it, I hated it. I hated everything about it. They got everything wrong. Everything that made NFL Blitz awesome, they ruined it. It made it totally crappy. But some noticeable games, Blabs, released today, which you did not include. And I really need to start questioning GameFAQs for their inclusion of these video games. I feel like these are very odd. I'm just going to share this with you. Include My Wife's Cheating on Me for Linux.
Those are brand new today. Look at that. I wonder if it's on Steam.
And Sex Industry XXX. Not to be confused with BMXXX, the band game from the PlayStation 2 back in the day. So
weird. You find it on Steam, but then it says, "Oops, sorry, this doesn't exist." Oh, what it is? It's you have to log in to see it. Okay.
Shagsworth, are either of those games on your wish list on Steam?
Can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh, okay. Moonshot, I bet you're going to be streaming those on your channel, huh?
Yeah, my super wholesome, family-friendly channel is definitely got that at the very top of the list. No, sorry.
Well, speaking of your channel, why don't you give everybody a quick rundown of your new channel over on Twitch, Moonshot?
Oh yeah, so this just launched yesterday. I changed from Magic Moonshot to Moonshot Arcade. If you still call me Magic, it's okay. I'll answer to it. But I just wanted to shift into retro gaming and fixed up my Nintendo 64 that I got for Christmas in 1997 when I was 10 years old, if you want to do the math, any 80s kids out there. But my original console, I was about to go to the flea market to buy a Nintendo 64 when my parents pulled this box out of their guest bedroom closet and they had the original console games controllers from 27 years ago. So I'm checking out some retro gaming and a little bit of a coat of paint on the rebrand just to go along with that.
Love that. Back when games were games and nothing more. And Shags, what about you, man? Tell everybody where they can find you real quick, my friend.
For the most part, you'll find me on YouTube, youtube.com/ at the Shagsworth. I'm on X a lot. We actually just rebooted the midweek hump. I ended it last year, like the first quarter of last year, because I was just burnt out. But after several months of taking a break, it just occurred to me we did a holiday special and I was like, I need to keep doing this. People love it. They enjoy it. Let's keep going. Having a lot of fun, just talking about stuff, less structure and just more have fun and talk with people. As if we're all just kind of sitting in the garage drinking a beer. So that's what we're doing every Wednesday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, 8:30 p.m. Mountain time. And on Twitch, by the same name, the Shagsworth, I am starting to play a lot more Path of Exile 2, which just released in early access. It's a fantastic ARPG. If you've been looking for something that is to cure, if you've been looking for something since Diablo 2 that cures that loot, I need to feel powerful. This game does it all. About only half of it is in the game at the moment. So I will shill for that game all day because it's so good. I have 2 characters in end game right now, and there's no stopping in sight for me. So,
all right,
come hang out.
Excellent, good stuff, man. Love it. Love everything about it.
So I went and looked up the game on Steam, and I kind of regret it because there was a lot of big ass dicks. But
would you prefer small, teeny, tiny skin
no,
or
it's just really, really, really fucking huge on on my screen that I was not prepared to see. And that's why you zoomed on me like this, because I was like, holy shit! Anyway, I did not expect to see that, but I want to point out that the developer and the publisher of this game is called Cocktail Games.
Nice.
Cocktail. Like the drink.
Yeah, Cocktail. C-U-C-K, tail game. Yeah, The end.
Someone please clip that. Blabs,
Definitely
write that
not.
down. Write
Yeah,
that down. No. You're not doing your job if you're
But
not.
I don't even know the
clipping
timestamp. I wasn't looking.
Yeah, like 15 minutes or so. You'll find it. It's good. You'll find
I
it on
don't.
there. Yep. Nope. It's going on. It's going on the internet. At least if not by us, someone on the internet will clip that, please. Thank you. Make sure you tag Blabs and post that on Dexerto as well. I'd really appreciate that.
I was not expecting to see such large dicks on my Steam charts and stuff. Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Family friendly show. Yeah.
Please add that to your clip list. Combine those and make it one big clip of Blabs talking about wieners.
I am just baffled that shrimp for breakfast is like the second most unhinged thing you've said.
I agree.
First 16
Wait a
minutes
second.
of the
You guys
show.
have never had like shrimps in your omelet and stuff before?
No.
No.
I feel like I'm surrounded by uncultured people right now.
I mean, that's true, but you know.
What the hell is she talking about?
I don't even know what's happening right now on this show. It's ridiculous. All right, well, look, appreciate y'all's support right off the bat. We do have our Super Chat goal today, which is a nice little feature. We're going to do, we pick the random 20 yellow Super Chats. That's what we're going to go for today. We'll see if it hits. We're going to start off strong with let's giant, big old pink boy right here. Ooh. Speedy Cake came in with the 50 Australian money. Says, speaking of family friendly, says, found a funny comment on a Helldivers stream thread that I thought was interesting, so I edited the names and PFPs to avoid dog piles, but shared it to the show and guest ideas channel on the Side Scrollers Discord. The third comment points out something. Speedy Cakes, thank you so much. We'll check that out. Appreciate that, my man. That's awesome. Excellent stuff. Really appreciate that. That is wonderful. Anti-Hero came in with the 10. Says, Elon will have a chat with the head of the German AFD, Alice Weidel, on January 9th. The meltdown was already epic when he made the post about them on X. I can't begin to imagine the amount of salt this will provide. Elon has his flaws, but this is awesome. All right, Anti-Hero, thank you so much for the $10 direct donation. B. Barrett came in with a gifted sub over on Rumble. That's spectacular. And Jared says, since you said you were going to be doing some tinkering with the show, do you think you'll scale the show down from 720 to 1080, from 720 to 480p for one day? No, we're only going up from here. And Shane gifted 5 subs over on Rumble. That's awesome. Love to see the home of newly gifted subs over on Rumble. That's great. Thank you very much, Shane. If you guys got gifted a sub over on Rumble, make sure you say thanks. Consider paying it forward. We'd really appreciate that. Norm says, what do you mean the guy this week flew by? This week feels like it took a whole year to finish. Hey, bada boom.
Oh, not again.
Mercenary says, God bless Mockman and the Ultimate Warrior. All right. Thanks, Mercenary. Norm says the 70s, 80s, and 90s were peak commercial music.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You need a sweet guitar riff. And screaming
It's just
about
like a cat dying. Yeah.
I mean, that's what they did. They sound like
Craig.
pizza pockets.
Can you dress as a cat for Halloween?
No.
They just grab a cat by its tail for that soundbite, actually. It's not even a guitar.
Yeah, right. Just pull it
We've
really
been
hard.
fooled for so long.
Rio says, I can neither confirm nor deny shrimp for breakfast. I can. Look at that. And by the way, the chat, it's a landslide. 62% say no, a giant rejection.
But it wasn't breakfast. It was 10 a.m.
10 a.m. is still breakfast time, Blabs.
It's like brunch time, honestly. After 10 a.m., it's brunch time.
10 a.m. is breakfast time.
You're starting to lose the Shags, and he was the only one on your side. So
That's right.
be careful.
See?
That's all right. He who travels alone travels farther.
Wedge says shrimp at breakfast brunch is top tier eating. Wedge, leave.
Don't you dare, you stupid Wedge.
Just kidding, Wedge. NDI says Blabs' mic is hot. All right, turn yourself down, Blabs.
I did. I saw that before, so
Suna
hopefully I'm
says
better now.
The only thing I can think of that you eat shrimp for breakfast is dim sum, but then I hate shrimps in general, so I shouldn't judge.
I
Thanks, Suna
love
Sarah.
shrimp. It's the only fish I really like.
We could take things that you say out of context from every show and just put it together.
Just like a YouTube channel, Blabs out of context.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
But is shrimp even a fish?
That's what I was gonna say. It's a sea
crustacean,
cockroach.
Isn't it?
Is what it is.
Or
It's a crustacean, but like I was just saying, like in general, I don't really like.
shellfish? Yeah.
I like, you know what? I like fried calamari.
I do too. I like that too, but not
Yep.
at 10 a.m.
Well, you're just weird.
Gears, no, it's not weird to not like
Yes, you're
fried
weird.
calamari at
I
10
agree. You're
a.m..
weird. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, as everybody
Yes.
here is weird. Gear says it's been a while, but on the Helldivers 2, trying to be DEI free is a common promise that's meant to be broken. Heck, MI side is more of a huge wake-up call for indie games than Balatro. Yeah, well, we're going to get to the Helldivers 2 stuff in a little bit, for sure. Also, it wouldn't be great if, wouldn't be a show if Harriet Tubman didn't come in with the $5 direct
Alright.
donation.
Tubby.
Harriet says, I talked to my cracker, Pow Envy, yesterday, and he's down to go on a date with you, Blabs. Now, remember, that's the guy. That's your bro, your sickly...
Oh yeah, the Roblox. That's his
Roblox guy.
name.
Mhm.
Envy, Pow Envy,
Yeah,
Pow
yeah,
Envy,
yeah.
whatever his name is.
So
No
he's
thanks.
no. He says he's open to go on a date with you. He said he's gonna cook you up some nice lasagna, his mama's Italian recipe, teach you League, and I'm trying to pre-screen this before I just read it, and maybe you can hold one of his hissing cockroaches. Gang, Tubbs out. Thanks,
I don't
Harriet.
like you very much anymore, Tubby.
Yeah. Thank you, Harriet. Appreciate that greatly. And Ian, look at this, came in with a 50-euro money, says, you know who has never seen a shrimp for breakfast? Cocktail Studios. Go big or go home. Let's go, Ian. All right. Hey, Ian, thank you so much. That's spectacular. All right, look, we got a lot to talk about today. We appreciate y'all's support. You guys allow this show to work on a day-to-day basis and allow us to be here Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. So let's get into the fun stuff today. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. All right, as always, we like to have dudes starting off our day with a big old W. And thanks to dudes posting W's over on X for us allowing to steal the content that you've stolen from somebody else. This simply says, dude plays a banjo on a mountain and a little fox shows up to listen. This sounds like spectacular content that we need to witness. I have not seen this. Blabs, you seen this?
Oh yes,
Okay.
I love it.
Before we get into this, Moonshot, do you play any instruments?
I do not. I spent several years in choir, but I don't play any instruments.
What about you, Shags? No?
Nope.
The next question was going to be, have you ever had any woodland creatures show up while playing them? But
They come and clean my house, actually, when I sing. It's a little more of the Snow White effect. And it's like all the
like
birds
Giselle.
and the squirrels just in the little buddies, and they like take care of the kids. They do the dishes. It's great.
did the New York State come in and kill them afterwards?
Oh my god,
Just
No.
curious.
Peanut.
Rest in peace.
No,
Peanut.
I'm red.
Let's go.
I'm safe
right.
in Florida.
Well, here we go. Let's check out this man playing his banjo. Well, that's just the nicest thing in the whole.
Is that so wholesome?
Well, that's just the night. At any time, does he attack him, Blabs?
No, it's just he just plays his music and the fox just chills.
Well, that's just the nicest thing in the world.
Then he
isn't it?
leaves eventually.
Then he leaves after he's done playing the music.
Basically, he kind of like wanders. Like, should I go now? Yeah.
What you don't realize is that this fox is actually sizing him up to bring the rest of his pack in to take out.
Can I
somebody
take
with
him
the banjo.
down?
That's
Right.
I mean, it's a fox, not a coyote.
Well, I mean, they're bad, man. Foxes.
Yeah.
They're not that bad.
I think the fox was looking at him like I could do better and is about to have like a banjo off with this guy.
Maybe he was sizing
Like
up
he's
his
gonna
leg.
pull out a little fox-sized banjo of his own.
Got to be honest. That's something that AI can do right now. If somebody can make an AI movie continuing that on from a fox pulling out a baby fox-sized banjo, which sounds spectacular.
Exactly.
I would love to see the banjo off between the two.
Better than anything on Disney, so you already win.
Right, yeah. All right, well, there's that.
And
Thanks
chat
for...
says you're wrong, by the way, Craig.
What's
Fox
wrong?
don't travel in packs and stuff. It's true. They're like one off.
Oh, okay. Sounds
Ha!
good. Thanks.
Know
Thanks.
your animals.
Listen,
I have a question for you.
I
Speaking of
apologize.
animals,
Yes.
what's the largest mammal in the world?
Oh, I think I know.
Your mom. Let's go! Oh! Bada boom, hey! Let's go!
Wow, I don't know. I mean, I need to get some ice fast.
Oh man, the chat says the blue well.
You didn't know?
I think that's yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah, I think that's
You're
common.
not smarter than a fifth grader,
I think that's common knowledge, Blabs. I was,
but you didn't know.
I mean,
What's
no,
the largest bone in your body?
I was trying to.
Can't say on YouTube.
Blabs, you're doing this to yourself. Why are you asking me that, Blabs? I'll make it weird.
What?
Dang.
No, it's a genuine question. It's a are you smarter than a fifth grader question. What's the largest bone in the body?
Yeah, Shags. What is it?
Well, well, the real answer is it the largest bone in your body? Is it the femur?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know
All
what the
right.
femur is, Craig?
Yes, the femur
We
is
gotta just check these things here.
right there.
Holy shit.
Can this whole episode just be "Are you smarter than a fifth grader?" Was Labs
I might
asking
have
very like
to.
out of context questions?
That sounds like a really good game show that we could do sometime down the line. Just throwing that out. That'd be great. All right, let's move on. We were talking about this has been on the run sheet for a few days. It's Finish Strong Friday, so we're going to finish strong talking about the 2024 U.S. box office. The total revenue for and this is kind of crazy to think about, the total U.S. box office for all movies released in the United States. Let's play the Price is Right game here. Moonshot, you get to start. You get to be first on the list.
I saw the numbers
Oh,
earlier,
okay.
so I'm gonna have to sit this one out.
All right, Shags, do you have any guesses on the total revenue for movies in the United States in 2024?
Oh, I don't know. In the United States,
Yep, U.S.
I don't know. I'd be so wrong. I'd say like 5 billion.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. You would have undershot it. The total U.S. box office was $8.7 billion.
It's not awful. Yeah, it's not an awful guess. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Down from $9 billion, so it went down a little bit. I'm curious to see what this looks like 2019 numbers. Blab, see if you can pull that up, the 2019, because obviously 2020 COVID happened, the box office got wrecked, and I'm sure this has gradually moved up over the course of the last few years. But you know, hey, whatever. People still I still very much like to go see a movie. I don't see movies very often, but I still think there is some magic to going to a theater. Now, that magic is immediately lost when you have to pay $15 to $20 to go in the theater. But I do really like the idea, the immersiveness of sitting in a dark room and having a giant screen in front of you and just being immersed with really good sound and such. I don't know. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think it just depends on the movie. I think there's some movies that like almost require that experience. I mean, like a movie like Dune 2, like you want to see those on like Interstellar, like those movies you want to see on big screens.
Mm-hmm.
Like rom-coms and stuff like that. Whatever, you probably wait till and just watch them in your living room on a decent sized TV with good people. But yeah, I think personally the movie I would like the movie experience to come back, but I don't know.
You know, it's funny. One of the things I did a long time ago was I was exploring video game competitions inside of a theater. back when when Killer Instinct came out for the Xbox. The Killer Instinct sound design is spectacular, and I really wanted to hold a tournament inside a theater, because when you plug in an Xbox at the Xbox One, whatever it was, and play that game, you hear every crunch, and especially in a theater where sound is so important. There is truly, it was the best video game experience I've ever had. Just feeling immersed in a game when I tested that out inside of an actual theater. They let me go in and try it out. We didn't end up doing it because we didn't figure out a way that we could actually, even break even doing it. But it was really cool. I think that'd be movie theater rentals would be a really great place to have some sort of tournament. I think that'd be really, really fun. So
I have these stats for 2019 for you.
Okay, what do we got?
So it's 11 billion in the US right here. And Disney led the charge.
Yeah. Okay, so we're still down.
Lion King, Toy Story 4, and Frozen 2.
Yeah. Okay. So we're still down. $2 billion so we're not quite back to where we were before pre-COVID. So, okay. Well, speaking of, we talked about movies that people pay for. What about TV shows that people don't pay for? We have a list of the top 10 pirated TV shows of 2024. Did you guys see this list before the show?
No.
Okay,
No,
good.
sorry.
Let's keep playing the game. Any shows off the top of your head that you think would be on this list? The top 10 most pirated shows of 2024 according to BitTorrent. Shags?
I would say House of the Dragon must be on there.
House of the Dragon, number 1 on
Good
our
one.
list. There we go. House of the Dragon, number 1, the most pirated TV show. Moonshot, you got any?
The irony wants to say something like NCIS, but I don't think that's actually on there. I just think it'd be funny if it was.
NCIS, not on the list.
Oh, okay.
Back to Shags.
Okay.
Oh boy. Now I'm trying to think of the other big one that came out this year that was big.
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, I don't watch a whole lot of shows anymore. I was gonna say True Detective, but that's not on there.
I see the chat saying the Penguin. Penguin is
yeah.
on the list. Yes, Penguin.
Okay.
Here's the rest of our list here. House of the
Arcane
Dragon.
is good.
The Boys.
Oh, The
Arcane.
Boys, right.
The Penguin,
Arcane,
which
yeah.
everybody, the Penguin. I think this is a Max series, which I don't have Max. Fallout, Amazon series. Reacher, Amazon series. Silo. I'm not familiar with Silo. Which one
Really
is this?
good.
Is it? Dune Prophecy and Halo. Rounding out the top 10.
Why would you pirate a show
Yeah.
that was so bad?
It's because
Why
nobody
would
wanted
you
to play
do that?
They didn't want to pay for Paramount, so they wanted to see how bad it was on pirate.
Honestly, which streaming service a show is on probably heavily impacts, because like people will have, Netflix, Amazon Prime, but they might not have something like Paramount.
Paramount. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot on Paramount Plus. Like, I have it because it's like a deal with Walmart, so it's like the lowest tier with the ads and all that. And it's not that great. Everything you want to watch is behind like a lock. So it's like, well, that's stupid.
Womp womp.
Arcane is great. I should have guessed that one. I love that show.
You know what I'm actually really looking forward to, speaking of like paid platforms, is I'm looking forward to seeing, I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans or not, or if you guys know a whole lot about wrestling, but WWE signed a deal with Netflix, a $6 billion deal with Netflix. It pays them $10 million a week to bring WWE Raw to Netflix. And that's their live wrestling show. And that debuts on Monday. And they're touting it as a new era. It's the first time that this show that's been on cable for the last 30 years is going to be on a streaming network. So that's going to be, I think, going to be a really important day, actually, in terms of the like in the landscape of content over the next, where it goes in the next 2, 3, 4 years, how well that's received. Because that's a $6 billion deal for Netflix. It's just insane. Anyways, we went from TV to movies. Now let's go to a former TV and movie star who has ultimately lost her way. Have y'all seen Amanda Bynes in the last
poor lady.
little bit? Moonshot, are you a big Amanda Bynes fan?
I mean, I like her in She's the Man, but that's probably
I love that
the
movie.
only role that is really memorable for me personally. So
She was in Hairspray too. Pretty underrated in that one.
Yeah, and now Amanda Bynes was obviously a Nickelodeon star. This is her way back in the day. This is a very close-up picture of her. Everybody recognizes Amanda Bynes. She's been around for a long time. Unfortunately, the Hollywood bug has got her. Let's see how she's doing today, as she is an artist.
But yeah, this first half is on mute because there was like music playing.
That's fine.
I just wanted to make a post. The art show is coming up on the 21st. I cannot wait to meet you all there. I was going to recommend that you guys take Ubers or Lyfts to get there because parking is going to be terrible. So please do that. I look forward to meeting you all, and we'll see you there.
Anyways, so
That's tragic. She sounds like a robot, and her eyes are dead.
I'm looking forward to meeting you all. Couldn't have less enthusiasm.
Yeah, she's a robot.
And that's just sad when they like, you can tell she's lost any excitement, any passion, any enthusiasm. It's just fun.
It's funny because she it's just gonna sound ridiculous, but she looks like Amanda Bynes on drugs. Like she looks like a person that you would see and be like, that looks like Amanda Bynes on drugs. Like, and it's too bad because she was a pretty girl, and you know, Hollywood just chews some people up and spits them out. And we've seen so many like great child stars go this way. Like this is whoever her like publicist is, or maybe she's doing this herself. Like if she has a handler, they're screwing her up even more, in my opinion. They need to like just go behind the curtain, you know, just hang out, get yourself better. You don't need to be doing meetups and shit. Like it's not what she needs right now.
So she was doing a gallery. So she's got an art gallery going on.
Oh,
That's what she's doing now. So she's not doing meetups or anything. It's more like just for her own thing. But she used to have like a conservatorship, and that ended a couple years ago, like the Britney Spears similar situation. She had that too. But now she's kind of on her own. It's very tragic that she looks like this now. Like she's been diagnosed with like bipolar disorder too, on top of cocaine use. It's like, damn, it's very sad.
You know, the thing about that is you're talking about people like I think people aren't even there. I think they totally abandoned her, right? When the money ran out and she could no longer help or pay for them, you know, that's what you get. You get a girl with a heart tattoo on her cheek. You know, she used to be so cute,
nose piercings and things,
full of life. And now she just like she looks like an artist, a Hollywood artist.
And like she changed her eyebrows too, and that's rough.
That's rough.
I think the saddest part is that it's becoming so common that we see this like Hollywood effect and how it so severely negatively impacts so many stars or former stars, whatever. That it's like there's a pattern here. There's a root issue. There's something that needs to be addressed at the core of how of how these celebrities are living their lives before they get to this end result.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's really sad. Speaking of nutty people, I got another story for you, but first I want to get to some of these quick super chats real fast. Luigi Ed says, delicious sea cockroaches for breakfast and brunch. Luigi, you're weird too. Gear says, hard news. That's right, it is hard news. Mercenary says, I'm sorry, but my leg hole is less creepy than the guy with the cockroach. Also, it was supposed to be Macho Man Randy Savage and Ultimate Warrior. F YouTube. Thanks, Mercenary. Appreciate that. I thought that's where you were going with that. Rudd says, I can't help but think of Deliverance ruined banjos. Yeah. Ding, 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 ding with the Fox. Speaking of, ADDAF Toxic came in over on Rumble, says the Fox went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul. He came for a young man, saw him on a banjo and playing it hot. Thank you, ADDAF Toxic. Appreciate that. Speedy Cake came in with the 10, says, what's the ratio of films that broke even or lost money for the year? Yeah, that's a good question.
It's interesting, yeah.
I think a lot of people, when you look at Hollywood films, I would say the vast majority of them lose money. It's like most projects. I always look at when you have something like a film that you're investing hundreds of millions of dollars in. I mean, you're more or less starting its own business. That's what each one of these individual films are. It's its own business, its own merchandise, its own marketing, its own everything. It's its own product, but it's still its own business. And most of those businesses fail dramatically. Rob came in and says, UFC greater than WWE. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. Worthy One says, hey, Craig, did you see Ricochet's heel turn? He beat the ish out of Swerve with a pair of golden scissors. It was crazy. I did not see that, Worthy One. Appreciate that. Good to see the wrestling is still alive. Rudd says, Amanda looks like a lead of a Naughty Dog game. Jesus Christ. Thanks, Rudd. And Norm says, I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to think that kids shouldn't go into Hollywood. Right. You are correct, Norm. Appreciate that. Speaking of people who have been messed up, have you seen this lady over on the internet? Have you seen this lady?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Is this all fillers?
This is a real lady here. This is a real lady that had all sorts of injections and stuff done to her.
Wait, why does she look like the Chad meme? The Chad filter with the right?
Oh, joining us now, it's the lady over there. She is.
Wait, you had that ready? Oh,
yeah. I was looking for it too. I was like, where'd it go?
Well,
wow.
If I was to ask you this lady's age, what do you think this lady's age is?
Oh, it's probably younger than we think, right?
I would say 43 would be her age.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess younger than we think because of what that does to your face. I'm gonna guess like 35.
So she was 84. 84 years old.
Wow.
I was so wrong.
And she is,
I was so wrong.
I was only 50 years off. We're fine.
She was 80. But the fact that they would even allow her to get all that work done at that late age, at 84. But so she died of a pulmonary embolism. She's gone fairly viral for her work. She famously received $2.5 billion in a divorce settlement from her ex-husband, who was an art dealer. Says a lot about art and money laundering there. But this is what she used to look like. You can see there's some before pictures from like the 70s.
Why?
Right.
She's so pretty.
Yes. This is so sad to see these women who were so beautiful and they failed to age gracefully. And I think that's one of the things that I wish that we live in this culture that is so obsessed with beauty and, women in particular, and they want to hold on to their youth. And then they end up looking like a freaking monster here. And it's sad. It's really sad to see. It's not sad that you're aging. It's sad that you won't age. I guess that's the best way I could say it. Moonshot, do you feel like you're a girl? Blabs, you're a girl. Do you feel pressure?
Don't
Well, I mean, it's
gender.
debatable. Did you ask me how I identify today? Because
That's a good point. Sorry.
You bigot. Apologize.
Listen, they, them, she's,
That's
z's.
right. Take it.
yeah.
Do you feel pressure at any time to, like, I don't know, do not this, but some semblance of this, or to have some sort of beauty standard to always feel like you're 23?
No.
I think yes, but I reject it, if that makes sense. It's kind of like it's everywhere. Like it's everywhere for women. If you walk in the grocery store and you're looking at these magazines, how to lose 10 pounds in 2 days or whatever, or this is the next, best surgery to have. I think it's everywhere. I just, I don't know. I think I used to be more influenced by it than I am now. I found my first gray hairs last month, so I'm embracing it,
That was funny. My wife had like a single gray hair at the top of her head, and she was like, I can't deal with this. And I was like, honey, you can't even see it. Like that's amazing to me. It's really amazing. It's just part of life. Anyways, well, good for you ladies. I'm sorry, they thems for rejecting.
I identify as a pine cone, actually.
Good for you, Blabs. Good for you.
Pine cone.
I think if I'm going to take it one step further, as a mother, I have 2 daughters. It's important for me to work on a healthy relationship with this like external pressure beauty standard thing, but also like to teach them, especially as they get older. They're 6 and 1, so we're not doing a lot of those conversations, but just this idea of like what really, like, where does beauty come from? What is real beauty? And it's not all the externals. Like, you can be a beautiful person, and I think that does exude from within without having to meet some sort of subjective standard.
I also think like beauty standards has completely changed depending on where you are.
True.
For example, in Atlanta, Georgia, when they're looking for models, the only models they really want are overweight Black women. So everyone else is not applied. And so therefore they feel like, well, I'm not beautiful enough, or X, Y, and Z. And so it's like, well, what is beautiful? What is the standard, right? And then let's say in Japan, they really like the white women models in Japan. But over here, they really like the Japanese models too, right? So it's kind of like, where are you in the world?
So you're just saying find your market. Is what
yes, honestly.
Move to where you fit what the beauty standard is.
There is it's a market. It really is.
All right. Well, I'm glad you ladies don't have to bow down to the insanity of beauty, which is great. You're beautiful just as you are. Commodore fan says, I've said it before, Craig. Shut up. The people want you to do a wrestling show. Well, maybe we can do that. Maybe not a regular thing, but maybe for special pay-per-views. That'd be fun. Thanks, Commodore fan. It would be great. New York Giants fan says, since my Pink Floyd joke yesterday didn't go over well, I promise to keep my jokes wholesome. So, I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. Bada boom! Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Blabs, can you do me a bada boom?
Kit Kats.
Mercenary says trying to deal with going fully gray by 29. It's bad. Hey, it's fine, dude. It's fine.
There's always hair dyes if you don't like it.
Sounds like a silver fox to me. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing.
There you go. Red Rooster also picked up the High Life shirt and the new Challenger shirt. Appreciate that. So decided to treat myself to the new Challenger and High Life shirts for the new year. Hey, appreciate that. You guys treat yourself as well. Head over to Side Scrollers merch and go pick up some merch. Harriet Tubman also came in with the 5 Blabs. Says, I'm just kidding, Blabs. Except that he does actually have a Madagascar hissing cockroaches, and he is a league addict. He lives in a content creator house and not with his parents. You should have him on to see the man behind the troll mask he wears. Gang, Tubbs out. Thanks, Harriet.
No. Wait, Craig, can I have a timeout? What's less dateable? A man living with his parents or a man living in a content creator house?
Ooh, man. Good question.
You know what? I'm going to say content creator house.
Less dateable?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I agree with you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
because like there could be unknown circumstances. You're helping your parents out. You can't afford to pay rent for a couple of months. You move back in. Whatever the case is, perhaps this person, even though they're still living with their parents, are still very responsible people.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas content creators, I find a lot of them to be sloppy, stabby in the back, messy people. So no, thank you.
Stabby in the back is one word, by the way.
Yeah.
Stabby in the back.
All one word. Nice. All right, let's move on. So we are live over on YouTube. We talked about we were live on X for a while, and then X just decided to disconnect from it for some reason. But we feel like we definitely want to get back on X. And X has talked about how it wants to be the everything app. We saw the story earlier this week about how they're going to do like payment processing and stuff really soon. But this came out, and this is very intriguing, that a media tab is going to be added to X, a dedicated section for video. Video and virality happens on X a lot easier than it does over on YouTube. Being passed around, viewership is much greater on X potentially than on YouTube. Will you guys, as content creators, use X to post videos on?
Yeah, the issue I have with X is that anything exterior of X is throttled to the point that it becomes like non-existent. Like if I post a link on a tweet directly to my stream, it gets no traction.
Yes.
So the problem, the hurdle to overcome here is that you need to move people to X, as that's where they're getting their content. Everyone goes to YouTube right now. So how do you detach everyone's brain from that's where I go to get content to now X? You know, it kind of comes down to Elon being extremely ambitious to where he wants everything here. And I would also use, like, it's a word of caution, like we shouldn't be putting everything in one place, because if that thing goes down or someone acquires that and decides that you're no longer relevant or your voice shouldn't be heard, then what? You know?
Yep.
So it's really hard. I like the idea of it. You know, I would love to go live and have it mean something on Twitter, but I haven't seen that it really makes a whole lot of difference.
To further that, so I'm not verified on Twitter, but I know when you are verified, you can post longer videos, correct? So how does this work for everyone to use it? Do they remove that feature where you can post like unlimited minutes of a video, like 40-minute video posted by an unverified person? Does that work? Like there's a lot of questions here that are just not answered and not public yet. And I agree with Shagsworth about posting everywhere, because like I'd say I use YouTube and Rumble, but like I don't get any traction on Rumble whatsoever, but I still post there just in case should my YouTube get nuked. So I suggest if you ever go do content creation, guys, post on Rumble, because they're less likely to delete your shit than YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think, you know, we want to cast our net as wide as we possibly can. We'll definitely be posting, you know, videos over on X. We do post videos over on X, but they're traditionally shorter. I think that's the one thing that is left out of this equation is right now people don't go to X for long form videos. Unless it's a very special occasion, something is exclusive over on X that's not on YouTube, right? I think of like a Tucker Carlson interview from like 6-8 months ago, whatever. He did an interview that was exclusively on X. It wasn't over on YouTube. So people sat there and they watched 90 minutes of the interview over on X. But for the most part, you know, I feel like X is still there for shorter content, you know, 2 to 3 minutes, you know, and anything super duper long, you know, it's not exactly built for that, because you can just scroll past it so quickly. So,
well, and if I can add on to like what I was saying, I think X stands a better chance at competing something with like YouTube Shorts or TikTok. Like if they want to corner that market, I think they could kill it. In like getting people like posting there, like let people post like 2, 30-second to 10-minute videos, kind of like how TikTok does, and then I think you'll grab people. I know people don't like that content and think it's bad, but it does have its uses, and it could act as, hey, go to my content over here. So that would be my.
I also wonder, as like I think for consuming content, I don't like when one platform tries to do everything, because I want to open an app on my phone and have one specific thing I'm going for. But with this coming to X, also like the searchability factor is going to be important. Like, how does the algorithm work if I'm searching for something? If I'm going to look for like a tutorial or a specific question that I need in video form answered, I'm going to go to YouTube because it has all those years of backlog to find a specific resource. So it feels like Twitter video form would be more like currently viral link to my social media type of stuff, and maybe not as much like informative educational content.
I'll say this.
Isn't TikTok being deleted soon too? So like I feel like that's a huge competition if that should go away in the US.
If they don't find a US buyer, then it becomes complicated. So that's what they want. They don't want them to have control, since they're our enemy.
Our enemy. Well, I do think that X is in a better situation than pretty much every other platform out there that is a competitor to compete with potentially YouTube. You know, the people saying, well, how come Elon doesn't just buy YouTube? Well, he doesn't need to anymore. He has X. And if all it takes is just creating a tab, that's going to be the hardest part for I think X, is having a homepage for people to go to for it. Because the default right now is you go to your feed that scrolls down here, and having a landing destination for everybody to go to will be very ideal in the looks of that. Blabs, what are you looking at? Why do I see myself walking through a party?
This is wild. This is AI. It's Craig and Shagsworth partying.
Hey.
Oh, it's like a New Year's Eve party with some champagne in the wrong kind of glasses.
Wild. It comes from release that McCracken on Twitter.
Thanks for that.
X.
It makes me feel awkward about our time that we had together, Shags, the other night. It was really weird. All right, let's move on. We have. Do you guys remember the Apple Vision Pro? 1 year ago, this was announced. This was a big deal. And for those of you,
VR.
Yes, this bad boy. Look at this. Remember this thing they
With
put
the
on?
fake eyeballs.
Sleek.
Yeah, with the fake eyeballs. This was announced. 65 million views, an overwhelmingly positive response. The idea you pop it on and your room becomes a thing, and it's all tracked through your eyes. Look at that right there. How amazing is that? People were very, very excited for this thing, except they weren't, because Apple has stopped demand production on it because nobody wanted to spend $3,500 on this.
Imagine that.
1 year later, this is. I mean, this was announced and then it just got dropped. Apple for a long time could do no wrong. Like they have figured out the system to game people. The idea that we have a new iPhone coming out, we have a new MacBook Pro coming out. You got to get this, blah 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 blah. But the Vision Pro has been rejected to half court. This is like, I'm not going to say Concorde level failure, but this was supposed to be their next big success. And I don't know. I mean, I remember saying when it came out, just the idea of having this on your head, it's so intrusive the entire time. And having these, as Blabs pointed out, these fake eyeballs. That's not even your real eyeballs. It's a projection of what your eyeballs are so people can see it. It's very bizarre. Shags, what are your thoughts on the Apple Vision Pro?
I mean, I've used VR before. It's cool. The problem is the practical application of it, right? And I think people realize it's a fun idea, but once they engage with it for a measurable amount of time, like, I mean, like most people are getting headaches, they get motion sickness from it. And I just think most people, they don't, like, they're watching TV, that's good enough. Like, they want to be in reality. I don't think people are wanting to be like, oh, I want to sit here and press buttons and, and it's an intrusive, these devices are kind of intrusive, like after a bit, like, even though it's like right here and they've gotten a little bit better over time. But I think most people are keen to the idea that I would rather just be outside or just engage with my TV than have to wear this thing. Oh, and I'm not going to pay $3,500 for this, which it'll probably break easily. So.
Moonshot, your thoughts on did you ever have any desire on picking up the Apple Vision Pro?
No, I get really motion sick from, like you mentioned, from virtual reality, almost all kinds of it. I can't. I think the concept for games is really cool, but something like this, here's how I would see it working, which might be more appealing, is if it was like a projection on a wall, you know what I mean? Or like you're laying in your bed and it projects on your ceiling and then you use your eyes for like the control or something, but it feels so like closed in to have this like $3,500 sleep mask on your face. And I just don't think brand loyalty reaches to the $3,500 price point.
No. Nope.
Well, you're not gonna have to worry about it anymore because guess what? It's gone. It's cut. See ya. I don't know. It's such an amazing thing to see a brand like Apple fail so dramatically. And really, the technology looks pretty cool. But is this almost like, we talk about like Ready Player One and how insane Ready Player One is? The idea everyone pops on that. Like, I think that's what everybody thought when they first saw this, was this idea that this is the first step to living in little cubes, and humanity has rejected this idea to the point to where they just stopped production on it. And that gives me a little bit of hope. Gives me just a tad bit of hope.
We've all seen Wall-E, It's like, oh, there's more outside of this, this hover chair headset.
Was Wall-E a big red pill moment for you, Moonshot?
Yeah, it was very awakening. No, it's a good movie though. It's a good movie. I think it's important to distinguish the line between virtual and real life.
Yeah, well, it's good.
I think VR has. I think where it is we're in like stepping stones. Like we're still in like a big development phase with VR. I think if they're able to find a way to have this augmented reality without this giant thing closing off your vision.
Yeah.
Like if you're just wearing regular glasses and you can do it that way and it was affordable. I think people would be more for it. Because again, it's if you could carry it out with you, like go like, oh, I'm out at this. I want to see what that is real quick, and beep beep beep, and it kind of takes pictures. Like, but again, there's limitations to technology like that because you probably need Wi-Fi and connect to the internet. And then also like how could people use that in a way that could be nefarious, right? Like if you could just look at something and scan it and get information, like how could you use that to do something really bad? So there's a lot of different, like there's a lot of reasons this could have failed. I think number one is the price point for sure. And I just don't think the technology is quite there.
Yeah. Well, it's dead for now. And it'll be interesting to see if Apple kind of brings this back in a few years and they continue to kind of shove us in the corner and make us eat bugs. Ian came in with 10 gifted memberships to the channel over here on YouTube. Hey, love that, Ian. Appreciate that. Do we have Kirsha bouncing up and down for Ian? I'm sure we have Kirsha bouncing around somewhere. Thank you so much, Ian. Greatly appreciate that. There we go. There's our Foxu lady friend. We'd like to reward everybody. Just bouncing bouncy. Thank you, Ian. Appreciate that. The Beast came in and says, aloha and blessings to all the normal men out there. Hey, great to see you. Thanks so much for your support. Yeah. Norm says,
sto usando Google Translate per ottenere Blab de leggere in Italiano. Ciao, Blabs. He's just basically saying, I'm using Google Translation to make Blabs speak or read in Italian. Hi, Blabs.
All right. What's this one say?
I had to Google that word because that's not a word that I know. It's apparently like a Naples dialect, which I don't know, which means you're an idiot. So you wanted me to call you an idiot, Craig.
Oh, well, that wouldn't be the first time today you've called me that.
This is also true.
Yeah. Flickerbox, who is our TV Hollywood veteran, says Hollywood Hills is where your dreams will either bloom or die just as fast as your passion and money. It's all a work. Happy New Year, all. Flickerbox, great to see you. Thanks so much. Shane talking about the foxes earlier. So speaking of foxes, you should look up the fox scene from the movie Milo and Otis. It's hilarious and great cinematography. Blabs, you ever seen the movie Milo and Otis before?
Yeah, when I was like 7.
Shags, you ever seen Milo and Otis?
It's been a minute, probably since I was about 7 or 8. Yep.
I feel like that's the movie you watch when you're a kid and then never again.
Yeah.
Moonshot, I bet you've seen it.
I don't know. I'd have to probably see like the cover picture or something. I don't know.
So Milo and Otis, and thank you for bringing this up. This is a classic. It was made in Japan, and then it was brought over to the United States. You can very much tell that this movie was made in Japan because just the landscape of Japan. Anyways,
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Oh yeah, if you go back and look at it, and they brought it over to the United States because there's not a whole lot of the actual people in it are Japanese, but there's a scene in it where they send Otis, who's the dog, down a river in like a picnic basket, and like there's what's that?
Like Moses.
Yeah. It's just like Moses. But there's a scene, and the director talked about, this is a Japanese film. The director talked about how they went through like 15 dogs to film that. Like there were so many dogs that died trying to make that shot.
That's awful. Oh
it is awful.
That is not a fun fact we should be discussing. Oh my God, that's tragic.
Truth hurts, Blabs.
I know, but I want to point this out. Flint Dutchman says Shadow. No, that is the other movie. What's that movie called with the dogs? Shit, Homeward Bound. That's that movie.
Okay, that we can talk about Homeward Bound.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Even the second one's not that bad. It's not as good as the first one, but it's tolerable.
Second one's hilarious.
Homeward Bound?
Oh, hold on.
Killed my childhood.
Okay, maybe it was not the dog. Hold on, I found it. It was actually the cat.
You're spreading fake news.
No.
Oh my God!
It was the cat. Here, this is courtesy of something over on IMDb. It says, "I hate it when people review a film without making any research about it. In the 80s, there was basically no laws to protect animals. A lot of newspapers at the time reported the atrocities that animals had to endure during the shooting. Well, the ones who could survive." About 30 kittens were killed during the shooting. And the most terrible thing about it is that most of them were killed deliberately.
Wow.
They were getting your guitar riff sound effect.
Arrest all of them. Arrest them. Animal abuse.
The famous scene where Chartran falls off a high cliff, needed many kittens, one after another.
That was awful. Arrest them all.
Just tossing cats off the cliff.
But can we talk about the strides that they've made to like protect animals in the film industry? So when I was in Tokyo, I went to the Harry Potter studio tour, and they had a whole entire wall dedicated to all the animals that were used on the set of Harry Potter, and they explained everything. These animals were pampered, kings and queens treated better than the kids and the cast members. It's amazing. I'm like, good.
I mean,
So from
that might be
the
too
80s
far
and
the
90s.
other way.
No, because like they only can work for X amount of hours. They have to make sure that they're actually being treated well and not like pieces of shit, like being thrown off cliffs. So, like we've made strides. That's positive here. Holy shit, murdering kittens.
This reminds me of a scene from the greatness of UHF, one of my favorite movies ever, the Weird Al movie. Shags, do you recall this?
Yeah, dude.
Yes, where the Animal Planet guy is trying to teach poodles how to fly.
Can we say fuck at this guy? Whatever, they're just animals. Fuck that guy.
Everyone needs to see this movie. Like
Hey.
everyone.
He's Blabs. He's going to teach poodles how to fly.
No.
Okay, here we go. Get ready and fly! Oh, man.
Oh man.
Why would you show me that? You're a piece of shit.
Oh my God, Blabs! Look at this. Look, this is awesome. Check this.
He needs to stop
No,
talking.
here you go. Check it out.
He just left.
Here it is. Check this out.
Ah, Gigi. Oh, man.
Oh man.
And then there's Shags with just grooming his mustache. Did anyone else just see that? He was like,
Well, I mean,
this is not for the classy
He's
conversation.
flaunting it.
I have to.
it's wonderful. Thank you for that.
I only have this heart cheek tattoo.
Oh,
Oh,
you should-
Amanda, what are you doing here?
Amanda Bynes joining us today. That's good. That's wonderful.
I didn't commit to the actual pen on skin. I'm not that dedicated.
Hey, Snipe Dude came in with the 10 euro monies. Says, with regards to 10 a.m. shrimp, it's not alcohol. It's fine to eat in the morning. Also, first time super chat. Hey, Snipe Dude, thank you very much for the first time super chat. We genuinely appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support. And I'm glad that your first time super chat was over shrimp.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, let's keep moving on. We do see every single one of your super chats, direct donations, and Rumble rants. We'll continue to read them. Speaking of super chats, we are 7 yellow super chats away. 7 out of our 20. That's our goal today, to make the pickle sing. Yodel, if you will, with his silly little eyes I drew on him. He's got little eyes.
Her.
Aw.
We named it a female. Remember Petra?
No, you named it Petra. I haven't.
Yeah,
officially
Petra the
named it.
pickle.
Okay. All right. Hey, did you see the news over the past week about honey? Do you guys know what honey is, first and foremost? Shaq,
No.
why don't you tell everybody what honey is?
So, as I understand it, Honey was a Google Chrome extension that would essentially scour the internet for discount codes for you to put in as at checkout to have you save money. And they've
Correct.
recently been caught up in a scam.
Right. Okay. So, yes, it's a browser extension. You nailed it on there. But the thing about it is that oftentimes what would happen, and this is how it kind of got exposed, it got exposed by a YouTuber named Megalag. And Megalag did a really interesting video where he showcased the code changing when somebody like a YouTuber would be paid to promote honey. So let's say honey came in, they came to Side Scrollers, were like, hey, go check this out. Use our link down below. And the idea is that people would use those links, affiliate links, to promote a product. And after honey went in, they would find this other code, and the affiliate link would then be changed on the back end to reflect honey's. So honey would receive the affiliate link revenue from that. It was really shady and really dirty, and they got caught. And from what I understand, they haven't made a statement about it, but it looks really, really, really bad. And people are saying, well, how come they have not been sued over this yet? Well, that's about to change, as Legal Eagle, who is a YouTube lawyer, is suing Honey and he says wants to take the company down. Now, here's the background here. It says YouTuber Mega Lag made an expose about the company. This was right before Christmas, exposing them stealing from both customers, consumers, and creators in a few ways. He alleged that they not only replace creators' affiliate codes with their own to pocket the money from affiliate sales, but also partner with companies to control which coupons were presented to users, going against their advertisements of getting people the best deal. So that being that if an advertiser, let's say we were selling, I don't know, Harry Potter gear, and we had the Harry Potter gear, and we had a coupon that was 50% off, but we wanted Honey to present the 10% off coupon. Honey, if we worked with them, would only present the 10% off coupon instead of the 50% off coupon, which once again goes against the idea of what Honey initially wanted to do. So Legal Eagle believes that this is disastrous for creators, and he was so compelled that he and several other attorneys have organized a class action lawsuit to fight against Honey and sue for damages. He says, think about how insidious this all was. Honey spent tens of millions of dollars, maybe even hundreds of millions of dollars, sponsoring some of the most beloved and successful creators on the planet. Honey alleged seeding those audiences with their extension. And that extension probably stayed with the audience browsers like a sleeping leech, waiting for viewers to conduct a transaction. Forever after, the creator's future sponsorships and future affiliate relationships and advertisements were devalued now that the creator's audience was infected. And this is all very, very true. Honey pocketed tons of money from this. It says the exact people who would be most likely to listen to the recommendations of that creator, which, by the way, is the reason that is so important to vet their sponsors and make sure they believe in their products, we are now likely to be sniped. So they're doing a class action lawsuit against this. So, I mean, Shags, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the Honey always was something that, like, I have the extension, but I like almost never used it because it was nothing ever really sat right with me. Like, well, how is this even working? Like, is this even legit? You know, I always think like your gut feeling is often like the right one. Like when you think something's a little bit off. I hope that whatever wrongdoing is happening, I hope someone pays for it, because if someone is actively and willfully stealing from people, I mean, obviously that can't stand. So, I mean, I hope best of luck to the class action lawsuit. It's going to be a long road. I know those things don't happen overnight. So I hope the people who have been stolen from, I hope they get what they deserve. They were what they earned.
So if you're interested in joining this class action lawsuit against Honey, you can go to honeylawsuit.com and it takes you here. So join our case against Honey. As content creators, we pour our time and energy into our work. Recent developments involving Honey, the savings app, threatened our rights and compensation. It is crucial for us to consider joining the legal action against them. This case is about asserting our right to control the use of our content and pushing back against unauthorized practices. Honey's exploitation of promotional codes and links directly affect our earnings. Standing united with guaranteed that we will be compensated we deserve. Winning the legal battle will set a vital precedent over that empowers current and future creators while strengthening our community. I will definitely be signing up for this. Shags, you should too. Moonshot should. Everybody who has ever made a video online should do this because it could potentially have affected you in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
So I don't see anything bad from that. And if it fails, then it is what it is. Big deal. So, all right. Let's move on. Unless you got anything else on that, Shags.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
Have you seen Marvel Rivals is one of the biggest games out right now. People are playing that like crazy. Have you guys played any Marvel Rivals?
Not 1 minute.
Not 1 minute. What about
it's installed? Haven't played.
I have friends who have played it and they're kind of like on it. They're not very fond of it.
No? Well, a lot of people are. It has 273,000 people playing it right now. And one of the really unique things about this game is the art style of it. I mean, this is it is a very cool art style.
Yeah, I do like that.
And it goes back to the traditional, like big, burly, manly men and shapely women. It's very cool. It's a very stylized look. Well, there's another game that's coming out Marvel related called Marvel Avengers. And Marvel Avengers is on the way, and Reddit has gone in and done a comparison between the two games. And I've talked about this many, many times in the show, the idea of when you first look at a game, you have this initial impression. And that initial impression really goes a long way as far as if you want to actually give that game a try. It's, you know, it's judging a book by its cover, more or less. Mm-hmm. We've all done it. Moonshot, I'm sure you've done that many times before. No? Have you seen the comparisons between the characters?
No.
Nope.
Okay, let's take a look at how they look. On your left will be Marvel Rivals, and on your right will be Marvel Avengers. Let's check them out. See what you think of them. Right here, you can see the drastic look between the two.
Oh no!
Is that like discount Steve Rogers on the right? Like, who's that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be?
That's the before and after picture of Steve Rogers.
So
Yeah,
real
like-
quick, the Marvel Avengers already came out.
Okay.
This game already came out.
Okay.
So that, yeah.
Okay, cool. So that good. Thank you very much for that.
Yep.
But you can see the difference between Captain
Wait,
America.
isn't that the failed Marvels game? Is that what we're talking about? I thought it was a whole other Marvels game. This is the failure one, Marvel's Avengers. That failed a couple years ago. That flopped so badly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
Yep.
there we go. You can see the difference between the two. And here is more. Here's Thor. Looking like He-Man over here.
Yep.
Right?
Dude, it looks like Thor like, got homeless on the right.
He does. He does look very.
He looks really roughed up.
I don't know.
Homeless.
The hair over the shoulder is a little much.
Yeah.
Let's continue here. And yes, Marvel Avengers was a 2020 video game developed by Crystal Dynamics. So sorry about that. Yes. But you can see the side by side. Here is Iron Man. You can see the, kind of the V shape here for the men here. And this is kind of.
I don't have as much a problem with that because it's a mech suit.
Yeah.
It's
I hear that. Here's a little more Iron Man. Here is more Thor. Big.
A little less homeless now.
A little less. Yeah. More Thor for you. I think that's awesome. Really bright, vibrant colors here on the left. Here's Hulk. Hulk is interesting because Hulk looks like he has a beer belly down here, whereas he's cut up and ripped to shreds at the top. And it becomes more jarring here. Look at this.
That's weird shape.
Yeah.
It's like they have a beer belly, but then they like the shader on it is just like making the abs. That's it.
Yes.
spray paint abs.
Yeah.
Right. We've all been there. We have this one over here. Once again, bright, vibrant colors, dark, gross. And of course, the women, of course. Here's the wonderful, what is her name? I'm blanking on this. This character here.
Oh, Black Widow, Scarlett
Black Widow,
Johansson.
Yeah. So with Black Widow on the left.
It doesn't. The thing is, though, like on the left, it doesn't really look like Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow all that much. I don't know if that's what they were going for, but
I don't think either really looks like
No.
against
No.
Black Widow.
No.
But I agree with you. I didn't initially
no, I'm
recognize the
like
character.
her outfit on the right looks more like from the MCU, like the
Because
actual
usually
movies.
her outfit's just all black, like the all black, like
Yeah. Interesting.
the-
Neither I like she like it looks better on the left, but neither of them are really that great. Yeah, way better on the left.
wait.
Sure.
Okay. It's just a
This is
different
a White
like, skin
Widow
for the
outfit.
same character. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yep. We
Hawkeye.
got Hawkeye over here. I mean, definitely
not based on Jeremy Renner.
No. But also, like I said, you have your big burly over here. You got your, it kind of looks like me over here. Just like a dad bod over here on the right. Spider-Man looking awesome. But I think this really shows kind of how big art direction plays when it comes to a game that failed on the right and one that's huge on the left. Awesome stuff. I really think it goes a long way as far as how these character designs are implemented, even just the basic costumes. He's wearing the same thing. It just looks drastically different between the two. So I just thought it'd be neat to kind of showcase that today and kind of talk about that. Do you guys have? I don't know. Do you think that it's such a big issue, or am I over selling?
Well, what
this
exactly is your issue?
Well, I think what I'm saying
problem.
it's not an issue. It's not a problem. But I think I said this about Concord. I've said this many times, right? The idea people are like, oh, it's more than DEI. And yes, we all understand that Concord died much. DEI was a small portion of that issue, right? But when you look at a character's design, I feel like that's your first impression of the game as an entirety. And people like to play characters that look awesome. And the characters on the right in the comparison don't look awesome. And the characters on the left, when it comes to Marvel Rivals, look very awesome. Yeah. And the game on the right is dead. The game on the left is thriving. I think it's as simple as that.
Well, I don't think it's based just purely on like the design for the game on the right, like the Avengers game to flop. Like all of it was just bad. It was a bait and switch, if I remember correctly, with Miss Marvel, Captain whatever her name is, a little Indian chick, Pakistani, whatever she was. Like they bait and switch her. She was like the main chick of the game, and that wasn't really like announced. So there was a lot of things wrong with that game. I thought when you said like Avengers, like it was a new game, so that's why I was really confused. But no, it was the old one, and it flopped pretty badly for a lot of different reasons. Yeah, Kamala, that was right. Kamala Khan. Yeah, very funny.
Khan, yeah. I think, yeah, the problem is that when you look at failures and successes of games, I tweeted about this the other day about like what people really like about games, like and how gamers I think really enjoy games. It's not, when you front load your game with messaging on like who people are as people, like gamers don't care about that. Like
right.
Care about like the gameplay loop. Like that's why people like Marvel Rivals, is because I think to some in some respect, they're looking for a new hero shooter. They're sick of Overwatch. It's unbalanced. It's, it's been the same game for over a decade. Why isn't there something new? So Marvel Rivals brings something new to that. And then on top of it, they have, so there's good gameplay loop. There's good character design, which you're looking at. Like the character design is much better in the Marvel Rivals. It just looks like comic book accurate, and you want, like, if you're gonna be powerful, I want to look powerful. I don't want to look like a little meek little thing, So that's, it's always an all encompassing thing. And I even said about Concord, like I enjoyed aspects of Concord in the combat. I thought there was some really good animations done, like really talented, well done animation. Like people who did it were obviously talented in some respect. But there was too many places in which it failed. One of which being you front load marketing with, look at these people, they represent you. It's like, I've played games that have like furry characters and I identified with them. I'm not a tiger man, but his emotional journey, like I resonated with that. So it's definitely multifaceted, but Marvel Rivals is great for many reasons. Not just because of better characters that I think.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you just said, but I still think you got to get people in the store to play the game, right?
True.
And that's where a lot of this comes back to with my argument. So
if it objectively looks bad, more people will not pick it up.
Correct.
But if the gameplay is good, they'll be like, well, maybe I can compensate. But you have to get people to see it and play the game, and that's where you come in. Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I definitely think that I love that Shags brought up the genre. I think the genre makes a difference, because if I'm playing a role-playing game that I'm investing hundreds of hours into with my character, then I can understand wanting to do an art style that's a little bit closer to realism. But something like a hero shooter, these are supposed to be like almost caricatures of these Marvel characters. They're supposed to be exaggerated. So yes, the men need to be manly, buff men with broad shoulders, and the women need to be feminine and have a good figure. Like, but I do see a point for realism when it comes to like a straight up RPG storyline. But even then, it can be the more attractive version of realism. Like I love to play Baldur's Gate, and I don't think those characters are unattractive just because they're not done in this like animated cartoonish sort of style. So
yeah, well, people seem to think like because like I want something to look good that I'm automatically like, oh, you only care about looks. Like, no, every single person, like when I look at a plate of food, I want it to look good. Like a pile of dog shit, like even if it tastes really good, I'm not going to eat it. Like, sorry, like it just looks awful to me. So like we're visual people.
I'm going to eat that poo-poo.
Yeah.
All right. Well, love it. Love the conversation. And it's it's an ongoing thing, and you're right. I misspoke at the beginning about Marvel Avengers and it being a catastrophic failure. The 2020 it's a dark time, guys.
Do better, Craig.
I know.
Do better.
That's the theme of side scrollers. Is just do better, Craig. Speaking of doing better, I saw this, and this is not on the run sheet today, but this is way more important than Atari having a new console. I have to bring this up, and I have to show it. Let's play the game. That's so racist. Here we go. This is a Chinese food ad in Germany in 1988. Has anybody seen this before?
No.
I'm terrified.
Let's stink and go.
Oh no.
Ja, wenn es so richtig chinesisch schmecken soll, Maggi-Fix für China-Pfanne. Mit Bambussprossen und der typischen Würzung. Fehlt nur noch das Fleisch.
Mit Maggi-Fix was Tolles zaubern. Neu, Maggi-Fix für China-Pfanne.
Mehr exotische Rezepte und viele, viele andere stehen im neuen Maggi-Fix Mini-Kochbuch Band 2. Wir vom Maggi-Kochstudio schicken es Ihnen gern. Gratis natürlich.
Wow. Anyways, I mean, pretty spectacular, really.
Yo, if we eat that food, will we know Chinese then?
Look at this guy.
Might come in handy. It might come in handy.
Look at that guy.
Smirk. What is that?
Oh my God, it's just brilliant.
That's amazing. How did you find this on Twitter?
I don't know, man.
What kind of timeline do you have?
I have the best timeline. That's all.
Wow.
And then she pulls out this cookbook that's the size of like a stamp, and she's like, "Oh, look at this mini cookbook." It's like, I can't read that. What size font is that? Like 2?
Oh my gosh! If they were to make that commercial today,
I mean, they kind of have a couple years ago, and so.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Blabs, because I have this other ad over
That's
here.
the one I'm talking about.
This other ad here that aired in China 8 years ago.
That's the one.
I don't even think words need to be.
Oh no.
Oh no! Look at Jax. Jax over here. Oh no!
He knows what's
I've
coming.
seen this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Here, Magic. Have you seen this?
No.
For those of you watching or listening, the black man has been thrown into the washing machine and comes out as the Asian man with silky white clothes on. And she loves him now. Uh-oh. I guess she's about to get tossed in as well.
Yeah. I actually have a great example of this. This has been going on for like decades, because in the 1950s or so, 1960s, there was a commercial in Italy that was a laundry detergent just like that, but instead of using people, they used chickens and little chicks, and there was a little black chick, and the mom kept saying, "You are not my child because you are black and all the other ones are yellow." And so he fell into like a vat of like laundry detergent, that was what they were advertising, and he came back out as yellow again. He's like, "Yo, see, you weren't my chick, you're just dirty." So then they were like 40, 50, 60 years later, they're now equating it to racism, even though it was a chick about a dirty chick.
Oh
Like
my
a commercial
God.
about a dirty chick, yeah. So it's been going on for years.
This
The
has
end.
been another episode of That's So Racist.
Yes, see, look this. Kelly Marrow. I freaking love Kelly Marrow. Thank you for being educated. I actually have a tin above my washing machines of Kelly Marrow. They're
Not
racist
everybody
little
knows
chick.
Italian products, Blabs.
Yeah.
Well,
Saying
now you do.
being educated. All
Yeah,
right.
he knows stuff. I'm not insulting anybody else. I'm just saying, yes, you know what I'm talking about.
By
Extra bonus
saying that
points.
he's educated, you're implying that everybody else is not educated.
Are you feeling attacked right now because you know what the femur?
Listen. Yes.
Yeah, well,
always.
get good scrub.
All right, hey, let's talk about this. This is interesting. When people talk about Atari, Atari is obviously it's an icon in the industry, right? It's been around for a long time, but I would say it's been a dormant icon for the better part of really 3 decades. I would say it hasn't really been relevant. They've had some interesting products. They had the Atari 50, the 50 compilation disc a few years ago, which was a very, very good compilation of a lot of classic arcade stuff and things from Atari. And they have a lot of plug-and-play items. A lot of people own that stuff. And Atari still makes millions of dollars a year just from licensing more or less nostalgia. But this was announced yesterday. Their tweet simply says, an icon reimagined. And they released a trailer for this. Let's check this out and get y'all's first reactions. So there it is, the new Atari console, and it's being put together by a company. You'll see it here in a second pop up. My Arcade.
Question: do Atari fans love dubstep?
Great question. Don't know.
That was intense dubstep.
One of the things that a lot of people have been questioning about is the number pad on the right hand side. Moonshot, I see you shaking your head. Are you familiar with why there'd be a number pad on this?
I have no idea. I was like, it doubles as a phone. I don't. I don't.
I have a theory.
I don't know.
Why is that, Chags?
I have a theory that this might be like what the Wii U and Switch wanted to be. Like, I'm not saying this is going to be an amazing game-changing system, but this looks like something that obviously directly interfaces with your TV. Mm-hmm. It's mobile. Mm-hmm. Doesn't really require a docking station. Like, it has that little stand, but the HDMI is right on top of the system. Mm-hmm. And it looks like you might even be able to control your, like, maybe that's as like a number pad for like the television, which would be weird because I don't know many people who are actually using, cable television or anything like that anymore. That's the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, maybe this is going to be just a direct integration, like a universal remote that you can plug into your TV anywhere you go. So
I have another idea. It kind of reminds me of like Fortnite. If you're looking up like a custom creator's game, you have to type in this long code. Like, what if it's to type in like a game code, as a way to access the menu or something?
I'm glad. It's interesting to hear y'all's perspective on this because I knew what it was for pretty much immediately. Back in the Atari days, they actually had keypads on their controller. And this actually worked for some classic games where instead of a D-pad, they used this. So as Ian says, the number pad on Atari will be to enter your credit card.
I was close.
No, Ian, that is not correct, but thank you for that. So yes, this has been confirmed though. It's the Game Station Go. It says, is this the Lynx Plus? Which, that's a deep cut for those who were fans of the Atari Lynx back in the early 90s. I owned an Atari Lynx. But yes, this is a little bit of information that they have out this. Not a whole lot. The Game Station Go device, courtesy of IGN here.
I hate that name, though. I really don't like that name at all. I think the style of this looks incredible, but the name, I don't like it.
Yes. Well, says this is according to the IGN here. The Game Station Go. I'm going to say that many times for you, Moonshot, just to hear, see you cringe a little bit. GameStation Go looks like it's the final design of the product Atari revealed a year ago. I do recall them talking about this. At the time, the handheld was called the Atari GameStation Portable and was due out in the fourth quarter of 2024, priced at $149. Well, that obviously never happened. The earlier version came out with the Atari trackball, paddle, keypad controllers, which we can see in the refined design of this. So, as pointed out, the trackball was used for games like Centipede and Missile Command. The paddle used for games like Breakout or Arkanoid. That's what a lot of people maybe know that game. And games such as Brain Games and Codebreaker use the keypad. So there we go. Expected, we're going to get more information when CES kicks off here on Tuesday of next week. So the purchase includes rights. So you'd expect GameStation Go to have a long list of retro games bolstered by Atari's recent acquisition of the Intellivision brand and certain games from the Intellivision Entertainment. Purchase includes rights to more than 200 games of the Intellivision portfolio and the Intellivision trademarks. So, you'll have the opportunity to play all the games that you haven't played over the last 40 years on the go now. So, any excitement about the GameStation Go Moonshot?
The aesthetic of it I love, and I like the promo. I think the music could have been maybe even a little more like synthwave, a little more tapping into, because I think the market has to be primarily people who like, kind of like me going back to the Nintendo 64, right? Like the nostalgia is the selling factor, so tap into that. And it looks like they did with like, I love the font, like on the numbers. I love that they have the Atari logo on it. I hate the name. I think someone in chat said Atari Go. I could live with that. But even in that article that you were reading off of, sometimes the S in GameStation was capitalized and other times it wasn't. And it's things like that that kind of just like, those are my pet peeves when it's like the inconsistency of even how it's written, which could just be the article writer itself.
Yeah.
But it just bothers me. It's too long of a name. And it's like, is GameStation 2 words? Is the S in station capitalized? It's just.
Well, there's the official branding. One word, capital G, and Go. One word in GameStation, space, capital Go. So, there you go. I mean, there you go. Get it? I would say you're targeting to a very niche market. And I don't know if that market still exists. That's the thing about this is you're looking at people who are playing games in the 70s and early 80s. And I don't know, like the market to play those games may be there, but it's a niche market. And I don't think that the people who love those games, who have nostalgia for those games, I don't think they want to play them on a handheld.
I agree.
I think they want to play them on the original console.
Maybe just a collector's item then. You know? Unless like we don't have much information about this, if they're gonna maybe put out some title or two alongside of it, that would be kind of cool. But like you said, if they're all they're doing is like remastering and like just filling these devices full of ROMs of old Atari games, then you're looking at a very niche market. Very niche market.
We already have the Nintendo Switch. We already have the Steam Deck, and it's. I agree. People who love the Atari are not the people that are spending time on handheld gaming devices. So it doesn't make sense.
Norm says, more important question. Are there any Atari fans left? Greg says, the Atari now is basically a zombie company trying to relive its glory days with licensing and hawking Chinese-made retro boxes for pre-order only. Student Soul Silver says, I see this more as a collector's item, to be honest. Paranoid Android says all handhelds go directly in the trash. Lord Slosh says total AI. There was no Pac-Man popping in at the end saying, "Oh, smell my armpits, Ghost." That's a reference to yesterday. We had a Switch 2 leak where they had Smell-O-Vision and Princess Peach.
I saw that. I saw that.
Good. By the way, that video will be going live at that clip from the show will be going live at 2:00. If you don't know what we're talking about, it'll be going live at 2:00 Central. So about 90 minutes from now on the channel. Commodore fan points out, says Atari owns the rights to the Intellivision, and it had a number pad in its controller as well, and used keypads overlays for all the games. Dirtus King says they should call this Atari King Tiger. Blitzkrieg it into our homes by Christmas. Zachary says, should I feel proud knowing about Intellivision? You should. You should feel proud. Video knowledge is power, friend. Goji the King says, I want to see remade versions of their games. I had like 20 copies of Adventure and Joust. I want proper remakes, modern graphics and gameplay. You don't want the modern audience. You don't want that. All right. Let's keep moving on. Let's get to our lead story today here, our thumbnail story. This was interesting to see over the last few days, as we've talked about Helldivers quite at length on the channel. It had a big pop right off the bat, and since then it's gone through many iterations. It had an update which boosted its player count up pretty recently, I think back in early December, and it's when Helldivers 2 came out, it had a viral aspect to it. Did you guys play any Helldivers 2?
Yep.
I didn't.
You did not. Shags, did you? I got tired of it pretty quick. I felt like it was kind of rinse and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? What were your thoughts on it?
I liked it. It didn't hold my attention long enough. I mean, it was just too much of the same thing over and over again. And it seemed like the actual grind through their like little battle passes was rough. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. The gameplay is fun. The satire is hilarious, but yeah, I just got tired of it. So,
well, you're not alone, because what we saw was a tremendous launch in Helldivers, where it popped off. It was very viral. It had I said 458,000 people playing, and throughout the year, just kind of gradually dropped off. And to be clear, these are still good numbers, 45,000 people, but just in comparison, this looks, a massive drop off. You have 40,000 people playing.
Also consider the fact that some people played this game can no longer play it anymore. So there's a huge drop off in that, because they required the PlayStation Network. And in countries, like certain countries in Europe don't have it, so they can't play this game anymore, even though they paid for it. So there is also
redacted that though, didn't they? Didn't they redact that?
No, they said that you can still do it. Like, you don't need to do your PlayStation Network, even though it still says it on Steam, but it's gone from certain countries because of the PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people boycotted it or just stopped playing, because they couldn't.
Yep.
You've rung that bell pretty much since the start. You've been talking about that for a long time.
Well, because it's so shit. It's a shit thing to do. You're basically saying, buy this game. Never mind, we're taking it away. You still own it, but you can't play it.
Right. Well, they did see the big jump up. You see, back in early December, it went from 30,000 players to 150,000 players, holding true at 64,000 players right now. So, it's definitely seen a little bit of a revival. And I think it'll be interesting to see kind of what this does, as the chief creative officer over at Arrowhead, the company that makes it, had some time to do a little bit of Q&A over on X. And he spoke out against diversity, equity, and inclusion in video games. It's very rare do you see companies actually tackle this head on. When asked by an audience. This has been obviously a hot button topic over the last year. We've talked about it extensively on our show, DEI, and I'm a big fan of meritocracy, obviously, and working off merit. But as this is from InsiderGaming.com, says, in a recent social media post, Arrowhead Studios CCO and the creative director of Helldivers 2, Johan Pilestedt, revealed he's working on a high concept for the studio's next game. Under the post, he engaged in a brief discussion regarding DEI and the act of shoehorning it into the game, and just to have it there. The comments drew a mix of feedback from the community, with some praising him, while others pointing out the potential flaws in what he said, which is very natural anytime you bring this up, ever. So I have the Twitter thread here, and you can actually see what he's talking about here. It says, with 10 minutes to 2025, what are your expectations and desires for what the next Arrowhead game will be? He says, and this person said, never add DEI to your games. And he says, if it doesn't add to the game experience, it detracts, and games should be pure pursuit of amazing moments. I think that's like super based. Like that's why we're playing video games here, is to escape,
it's hypocritical of him, though.
Okay, how?
Also,
because of Helldivers 2 has DEI in it. The character you select is type A, type B.
Shags?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. This it is, but like, again, it's not detracting from the experience of the game. Like the actual game is drop in, shoot bugs, shoot robots, shoot whatever. You know, like that's not a driving force in what the gameplay loop is. It's kind of like what I was talking about with my spiel on Twitter is like what he's talking about, he's right. His thing doesn't detract from that. You could focus on that and be like, I hate that part of it, that I can't choose male or female, but it doesn't affect the gameplay loop. Like you choosing type A doesn't somehow change it in any way. Does that make sense?
No, I agree with the statement. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure from when I played it, you had to pick A or B. Now, I haven't played this in almost a year, so correct me if I'm wrong, but that whole thing, type A, type B, is a form of DEI, and that's my point.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily a form of diversity,
well, it is, because
equity,
it used
inclusion.
to be male or female. Now it's like we can't even say those words anymore because it's going to offend someone. It's got to be inclusive.
Well, okay, I don't think that when you think of diversity, equity, inclusion, the idea is that you're hiring or including something just to check a box. Now, I'm a big fan as any of including male or female in the game. I understand what both of you are saying, but I don't think that making A or B type necessarily falls into the DEI aspect. I do think it's incredibly woke, but I don't know how to classify that. If I'm being
I think
totally
it's a
honest with
very basic level of DEI. It's kind of like an entrance point. You make it just so simple like that anything else is okay.
Well, you have to define, in order to really get to the bottom, you have to define, okay, what is DEI to you? And then we can kind of go from there, because
the woke agenda, which you've defined woke, it's basically anything that has a sort of political messaging in it inserted just for the sake of the agenda.
But did they, I haven't played Helldivers 2, but have they removed all like gendered language? Because I think there's just a bit of a jump, and again, I don't know, from saying that they did A and B or skinny brawny or whatever it was as a way to remove gender, or is everything like non-gendered throughout the whole game?
I think there's gendered terms.
I don't think you can make that jump to that's why. I don't think you can say they chose these body types because they don't want to deal with gender. I don't know.
I think they just do it because that's what all modern games are, type A, type B for now, and they're just like, oh well, this is what we're doing now.
I think Blabs, I think you're right. And I think the chat's right as well. They pointed this out. They said it's the inclusion part of DEI.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you are right. You are definitely correct. Type A is part of the inclusion of DEI. Yeah, I see that and I recognize it for sure. Yeah, good point. Good point. All right, well, he continues.
I still agree with the sentence, by the way, that it shouldn't be in there if it doesn't actually serve a purpose.
No.
Well,
I guess that's the more important point is like, is that two things can be true at once in this case, is that you could agree, you could say, okay, Blabs, you're right. We can all agree that is a form of DEI that happens to be in this game. But he's also right in saying that don't add to the game experience if if it doesn't add to it, it detracts, is 100% right. And yeah.
Well, he continues here. This person says, how would DEI have benefited Helldivers 2? And he said, I don't like labels, but mankind is united in its extreme xenophobia on Super Earth. Inclusion, so maybe that's DEI? I don't really care. Make good games. Don't make a contemporary political statement. Which I wish all companies said this. Just make good games. That's it. That's all you need to do. Just make good games. You don't worry about making political statements, because here's the reality of it, is that people will make statements about political statements, put them in their game, and then 5 years later, they may be totally off base, and or whatever. Hindsight is 20/20 with a lot of this, and you're opening yourself up for a giant can of worms. I've talked about how with side scrollers we want to get into game publishing and such. Like, we're not gonna, we just want to make fun games. That's it. That's all we want to do. There's gonna be no politics in any of it. It's just we want to make fun games, and whether that's in 2025 or 2026, when we get to that point of our company, that's like going to be one of the main goals. Is we're just going to make fun games for normal men, and I think at its core, that's what games should be. Just be fun. And I think Helldivers is fun for the most part. Is its gameplay loop a little repetitive for me? Sure. But
when I actually got to work, it was pretty fun, but it does get old.
Well, and I would say too, like I don't think, and again, going back to This was one of the reasons I tweeted what I did the other day, was because I was hearing stuff. I keep hearing stuff about like the Helldivers stuff, and then one of the other games, I forget what it was exactly, but I don't like, contemporary politics exists in games, but oftentimes it's veiled under good writing. Like some of our favorite stories, like Final Fantasy VII, I'll always go back to because everyone loves that game. They're eco-terrorists at the end of the day, but they're fighting a big, massive company that's polluting a planet, like, and changing climate and destroying the earth, or, destroying that planet. So like there is messaging in there, but it's lost. It's not like in your face. It's not a cudgel that they beat you with. And that in this very same way, like you can have these things woven through and not feel like, oh, I'm just getting hit from every side. Like, oh, make sure you call that person that. And, that's why Veilguard, like, you might have great game systems in it, like combat, but like every like cutscene is like you being talked at. And you're like, what the hell I can't even separate myself from this, like I want to escape the world. And, so I just think these things can exist, but they're so often done by people who are talentless now, who can't write. And that's really unfortunate, because we used to have great writing in games where you could learn something, learn a valuable life lesson, and not feel like you're just being talked down to, like you're like this child, being talked at by your parents.
Yeah, I don't play video games to get scolded at, or like, you know what I mean? Put into a corner, like parented almost. Yeah. Is what video games can start to feel like. And it's like, whoa, this is my entertainment. I can call up my actual father if I want that kind of advice. Yeah. Like, calm down.
I also think that like some games back in the day, and correct me if I'm wrong, they had like the political messaging very much in the background. It wasn't in your face, like Shag said. But also I find like nowadays a lot of people like agreed with those political messaging, so it wasn't really a bothersome, right? But now the political messaging is the complete opposite that most people agree with, because they're normal level people, right? These things are like so in your face that it's insane. Like there's 7,000 genders and things like that. It's like, well, no, I don't agree with that. So now it's very much in your face even more. And maybe you just didn't notice it last time when you played the games back in the day.
Yeah.
As pointed out by John, we're no longer normal men. It's normal type A.
Oh. No, I'm type A and you're type B. There you go. We flopped it.
Yeah. Well, this is it's interesting to see, as pointed out, there have been many people who have said that, the community managers inside of Arrowhead, they very blatantly push, DEI within their servers and such, their Discord servers and such. And there's been a lot of discussion about that, from a lot of people online. And, people see, this is the kind of the issue here, is that you got this guy who's saying, hey, I just want to make good games. And then you have other people responding, being like, oh, you bent the knee to the chuds. How dare you? And then, you have this back and forth response to where even just saying something as simple as like, hey, I just want to make good games. That's all. If it doesn't add to the gameplay, I don't want to really add it to the game. Like, that's seen as controversial today.
Well, I feel like that extends like a lot more too, because let's say someone like watches something of Disney Star Wars and like, well, it wasn't so bad, it wasn't great, but it wasn't so bad. Oh, you're instantly a Disney show. Like that's the knee-jerk reaction we have now of like 2024 and beyond. We're just constantly knee-jerk. Yeah, but like I feel like it's even worse lately, the knee-jerk reaction, because of all the woke stuff that we've had to deal with. Everyone's like instantly woke.
I totally get people's reaction to this.
Yeah,
like 1,000%. Yeah, I definitely get it. It's one of those things where, when you've kind of been hit over the head so many times, and I've talked about this, I don't know, hundreds of times on the show. Like, I get people's reaction. Is it an overreaction? I don't necessarily think it is, because once again, you notice trends. You notice trends this entire time, and gamers aren't dumb, So, yeah, I don't fault anybody for reacting that way at all, because we it's like they want you to ignore what your eyes are seeing. The idea that we in video games have a type A or type B is stupid. Mm-hmm. Like that's just dumb.
The irony is that I almost said Super Earth. The Helldivers was liked by everybody, and it wasn't until like it was almost like people were just looking for that thing to hate about it. It didn't help the whole thing with their region locking, like that screwed them big time. But before that, this game, everybody liked it and thought it was fun. Everyone understood the satire. They weren't offended. Hey, freedom, democracy, because the gameplay loop was fun. Now it gets a little repetitive and dry. That's, I think, its biggest fault. It needs to find a way to like mix it up. But, again, this game is good because it can bridge the gap between two people or between two different groups, many different groups. And so it's funny that we find ourselves here and then people in the comments being like, oh, the chuds and this. Like, God damn, like you enjoy the game. Shut up.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, people talk about political messaging, and the earliest game of political messaging that I remember seeing, and when you go back, this is a game for the Sega Genesis. And I never played this, but I discovered this probably, 15 years ago. A game called Awesome Possum. You ever heard of Awesome Possum before?
No.
Check this bad boy out. Here we go with Awesome Possum.
Awesome Possum kicks Dr. Machino's butt. I'm awesome.
In Awesome Possum, it's literally about recycling.
So much to digest in 5 seconds.
Yes, the game itself is about recycling, and it's awesome and possum at the same time. One and the same. Back in the day of action platformers.
Kind of cute.
Kind of cute. So there you go. It always comes back. Listen, when you guys think it could have been worse, could you imagine what the internet would have done if this game came out in 2024? Awesome Possum. Look, they're tearing down trees. They're sawing them down. Look at that guy. He's robots. How horrible are we?
Stop forcing me to fight climate change.
Listen, if we don't do something by the 1998, the world's going to be underwater. All right, we all need to establish this. Oh my God, good times. All right, man. Well, the conversation will continue, and some people will say that Arrowhead has rejected diversity, equity, inclusion. Others will say, "How can you?" Others will say, "Hey, get rid of the Type A and Type B stuff." I'm on board with that, and I think that's good. I'm glad that we were able to bring that up, and I'm glad we were able to kind of walk through that a little bit. And Blabs, you were right in that instance. That's the first time.
That is so weird.
Congratulations, you did it.
No, I never hear you say you were right very often, so I'm just like, what do I do? How do I react?
Craig hates Type B. Confirmed.
That's right. Yeah. Type A for life. Let's go. All right. Normal Type A. Let's get to some of your support. We are at 17 yellow super chats of our goal of 20 today. Our fun little goal of having the pickle yodel will be hit if we get to our 20 yellow super chats. We'll see if we can get there. Ian says, I hate the woke stuff as much as the next man, Type A or Type B. But now there's a slight sense of the pendulum's marginally swinging back. Overreactions are more commonplace. Oh, yes, we're definitely seeing that. The pendulum swinging back. Blabs and I were just talking about that a little bit. It says, Craig, what are we doing here? Did we already forget Type A, Type B glitch in Dragon Quest III, where you could no longer use and obtain gender-specific weapon, DEI? What are we doing here? We're good, Grateful Gamer. We got it. Mercenary says, they're turning video games, my therapy, into something like a punishment for wanting to just feel normal and in control. They want to take away my control. King of the Monsters came in and says, get that Type A trash out of my games. Type B, male and female, there are only two genders. Selection that is, A and B bullshit, is an insult to my intelligence.
Can we just laugh about the A-B stuff for a second here? I'm going to bring it back to Harry Potter. I'm sorry, but this is about Hogwarts Legacy. So back in the day when they were announcing it, they were all like, oh, we believe trans women are women, and the voice actors and everything were called Type A and Type B. But then you had to be a witch or a wizard in the game. It was hilarious. It was so stupid, like all this DEI bullshit, but they couldn't walk around it. They're like, do you want to be a witch or a wizard? But they couldn't really say it that. But then they were advertising as witches and wizards. Ironic. Anyway, continue.
Well, and of course, there's the idea that I saw this video of this trans person, and this person was asking in their chat, they're doing like a live Q&A, and they said, oh, it's a nice cat you have right there. Is it a male or a female? And they're like, oh, it's a female. and he goes,
Oh,
how
I've
do
seen
you,
that.
He goes, how do you know it was a female? And this person just kind of stares there for a second. It's like, because of the parts. It's pretty.
If your parts don't determine your gender, how does cutting them off affirm your gender? Please explain.
Common sense.
Hey,
I
Levi
did-
says.
Sorry,
Yes, go ahead.
Just along with this whole male-female AB thing, I was on Rumble earlier as part of trying to rebrand and change my username and stuff. And I did look on the Rumble account, and it has like the gender drop down. I'm always curious, like, okay, what are the options going to be on this drop down? And it was male, female, and I was like, yeah, I like.
Way to
this
go,
platform.
Rumble.
Let's go.
Let's go. Levi says Elden Ring also had types A and type B, but were very clearly male and female characters, right? But once again,
unnecessary.
Yeah, absolutely. Jacob came in, says, I want consistency with talking points. If Helldivers is woke because of type A and B, Palworld is also woke because they have type A and B.
Newsflash, every single game that's type A and type B has a level of wokeness to it.
Well, this is what I mean. Like, I guess when I'm not denying that these things exist in games, like I know it's there and I don't like it particularly. Like let's just call it what it is. But like when people just get up in arms like, well, I'm not going to support this. Like, well, Palworld's great. Elden Ring's great. You're not stopping playing any of those games. Like, that's why I say it's not integral to the gaming. I would rather it not be there. Like again, I could really enjoy the game, not want something to be there. I wish people were just capable of like separating the two. People can get mad about it. Like, it's fine. But like there are great, like I've actually been playing Palworld on my Xbox recently and having a great time with it. It's really fun. But yeah, would I rather not be just male and female because that's what it is? Yeah, of course.
I still think it should be like criticized, even if it's a great game. But like, this is great and here's why. But also, this is shit because of type A, type B, and we don't need that in here. And hopefully, with more criticism of like all these different genres, people be like, all right, we should get rid of the type A and type B and go back to what we used to do, which everyone was fine with.
Right. Yeah.
Blabs, I do want to say, I hope that you don't feel like, for a second there, kind of was like you were holding this position and we were disagreeing. I hope you didn't feel cornered or ganged up on, but.
Oh, no.
We're
the chat. I'm used to it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I meant the rest of us. But like,
no, don't worry
you
about it.
explained it really well.
Nathan says, for all the you're overreacting crowd, after all the name calling, gaslighting, exposés on this stuff, stop giving corporations the benefit of the doubt. They never deserve it. Yeah, I agree with you, Nathan, for sure. It's like these companies, they pretend like they don't lie. They'll lie directly to your face, for sure. So, yeah, and it's good to have disagreements sometimes because you talk through things. I was thinking about things and Blabs and the chat were correct in that instance. I was trying to see like, well, okay, where does this work? And yeah, it does work 100%. Gorb says, first we had type A, type B, then they added walk cycle A and B. How long could it have been before we were just given anatomy 1, 2, and 3, etc. Cool. All right, let's we're gonna finish up with the rest of your super chats, but we always like to give our guests, excuse me, the opportunity to bounce before we get to the rest of our support. If you guys would like to bounce, you're more than welcome. Shags, if you got a roll, if you want to stick, you're more than welcome. Same with you, Moonshot. If you got to do some classic N64, by all means.
I'm okay hanging around if that's okay.
Yeah, heck yeah, we love that. Yeah. All right, Blabs, fire away. What do we have?
Well, we have tits. Okay, overall locals. Zorak sent a $50 tip saying, God bless Lights Girls and all their normal men and women. Thank you very much, Zorak. 90 overall locals.
Let's go. Hey, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Let me start from the top. Ryan says, only my beard and mustache hairs are going gray. Well, good for you, Ryan. Bird flu C. William. What? Blabs, what's your pasta sauce of choice? Okay, so I make a really great pesto. I'm just saying. I use walnuts, though. I don't use pistachios. And I crush it up.
Blabs, I have a question.
What?
If and when we do a Side Scrollers event, will you cook pasta for everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
But you have to get the ingredients that I request.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, cool. Shopping.
You're the chef.
I'll help.
Yeah. Nice. Let's do it. Mercenary says, not me, but it runs in certain members of family. Wait, what does? Thank you, Mercenary. mercenary.
Hole in legs.
Oh, I guess so. Pamela Anderson aged gracefully. Thank you very much. Benjamin says, Merc, get on my level, double balding at 29.
Let's go, Benjamin.
Red says, look up Jack Black Anchorman dog scene.
Yeah, we're
Great
tossing the
scene.
dog over. Yeah, it is
I
outstanding.
don't remember that.
Drop kicks it.
Yep.
I don't remember this. Anchorman? The first one?
I
Yeah,
get
he
it.
throws his burrito out the window. Jack Black's right on his hog next to him, and then hits him, flies off, and then it's look it up. It's really funny.
I can't remember, dude. I can't remember the last time I've even watched Anchorman. Must have been like over 10 years. Okay, we got the clip.
Guess what? Now this is happening.
Excuse me.
Oh no.
So
Excuse me.
random.
What are you doing?
That's how I roll.
That's how I roll.
Shit, I don't
The
remember
man
that.
punted
Yeah, he was
Baxter.
a cameo, right? That was a cameo
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
The best thing Jack Black's done in the last 50 years.
Damn. No, I would say The Holiday. That's his best stuff.
Okay.
As the Neck Master says, I'm here to claim, don't even try. One little bite, you all say goodbye. In my filth, what a dilemma. Eternally be my maid. Barbarella, Roblox Kid 22.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Well, thank-
I
Some
wish
make
I
it
had.
weird.
I wish I had read that before showing it up. Anyway, Lord Spleech says, "I swear, a class action lawsuit is just a legal way of doing the honey scam disguised as a legal fee." Thank you very much. Nathan says, "Honey is worse than you think. In the video, they showed it changed a link for a YouTuber with less than 1K subs and doesn't even get you the best deals on offer."
Yep.
Dave says, "Honey is powered by the souls of kittens being thrown off cliffs."
Oh, no.
That's depressing. Wedge says, Craig is a gaslighter. In 2010, we were at a PAX in Seattle and he went to an all shellfish breakfast lunch buffet at the hotel and they had to remove him because he was eating shrimp off others' plates. Is that
This is
true?
true. Yeah, not. You know what? You caught me.
I caught you red-handed. You eat shrimps.
You caught me shrimp-handed, actually, Blabs. Sorry.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do shrimps? Wonderful. I make a great pasta sauce with my shrimps. Can I just say that? You can use clams
Shrimp
too.
plural, or is it really shrimps?
No, it's just shrimp, but I'm just special and retarded, so.
We love it.
Bonus says praise to be Space King. Torger the White says, Yo, Craig, PSA, gifted you a game on Steam. Go find
shit.
it.
Oh, let's go check it out. Hold on.
Bonus says, a washing machine capable of turning Johnny Somali into Johnny...
Okay.
Who's Johnny Sins?
Some Asian guy, I guess. Harriet Tubman. Oh.
Yes, Harriet.
Okay, this is fine. I can read it. I've come out the Superchat Underground Railroad now. Draco's at the ready. Be nice to my boy Craig, a.k.a. Cloud Kidnapper. He a white boy. He gonna be on the next track I do. Black and Mild. Tubbs out. Look at that avatar, bro. Look at that avatar.
What?
She's badass.
What is happening? The Cloud
I love
Kidnapper?
when Harriet's part of the show every day.
I don't like that Harriet Tubman's a part of our show
I
every
do.
day.
It's funny. Tubbs out. Noodles says rather get an Evercade instead. Thank you very much.
Hey, Blabs.
Yeah.
We hit 20.
Nice.
Oh boy.
Yodel, yodel, yodel.
I was gonna say what happened. Wow.
That's the
That's
dumbest
just
thing
kinda
we've
sad.
ever done. It is really stupid. Yes, it is. It is so dumb that we do that.
It's just
but
sad. It just kind of sits there awkwardly.
we need to make it a
Anyway.
much bigger presentation for
Yeah,
sure.
you need pickles like coming down the screen and stuff.
Agreed.
Yep.
Or confetti. Thine Bear says the team Atari is from the Japanese game GOH, so calling it Atari Go would have been appropriate. One time at Bandcamp says, "Where's my Amico?"
You know, the Amico is interesting. It's funny about the Amico. Some people get so mad at me if you look up like my name and Amico. There's like 3 or 4 people who are so mad at me. Do you guys know about the Amico? No. Okay.
No, I was trying to swallow water at the same time.
Okay,
saying
so
no.
okay, let me give you a quick rundown on this. The Intellivision Amico was this thing that Tommy Tallarico announced in 2019. Now, Tommy Tallarico, he's been in the video game industry for a long time. He's been an acquaintance of mine. I knew him from back in the day when he did this like live orchestrated concert called Video Games Live. Okay, it'd come through town. Go check it out. Whatever. He announced this thing in 2019. He announced he owned it more or less in television. He was like the CEO of it. He announced that he was going to make this new thing called the Amico, and he eventually he had a product of it, and he would bring it around. And he did like a demo of it. And he invite people to come out and go see it. So I went out to go see it, and this is like 2019, 2020 or so, right? And right when like COVID was happening, or maybe I think it was at the tail end of like COVID, maybe late 2020 or early 2021. And I was featured in this video where they were talking about it, and I was like, I thought it was actually pretty fun because his vision for it, what he explained to me, was that they wanted to sell it to like it was all like super easy, small like games that you play on your phone. It was not meant to be Elden Ring here, right? Stupid little games like that. But he wanted to put them in, sell them to hospitals and nursing homes. And it was supposed to be like the next generation of the Wii, this ultra easy to play games. And I was like, oh, it sounds like a cool vision. Anyways, I got featured in this video, and people feel like they got scammed because they invested in the Amico. It never came out because of like production problems over COVID. And people like look at me and they're like, "You shill, you Amico shill." And it's like, what are you talking about? Like I have no idea why you're so mad at me because I went and I saw this product that I enjoyed, and I'm sorry that it never came out. But people are so mad at me. So they need to work through some things with that, apparently, because I once played it. So there's that. So anyways, there's your Amico story for the day. Continue, Blabs.
I feel like I need to use this next time.
Well, I feel like I need to get a little background, you know.
But there was a very valuable moral lesson there. People get mad at you for no reason, and you can never explain it. The end.
That's right.
That's it.
Vivian says, Endymion pointed out that Helldivers 2 is still infested by both communist and community management and official Discord mods, all are still there. Mentioned Grumps and get insta-banned to this day. Thank you very much. I think I remember doing something about that where I typed a word in like Discord and I was timed out. I can't remember what it was. Praska Bruce says, I gotta ask, I recently found out about Microsoft taking over on Minecraft as far as accounts and servers, but was wondering if there was a similar game since my daughter absolutely loves it, but I don't want her upset either.
Wondering if there's similar games since my daughter absolutely loves it, but don't want to upset her either. To Minecraft? I mean, I'm sure you can find all sorts of copycats out there.
That new Fortnite that has that like Fortnite building Lego world one. That's my first thought of. It's kind of similar to Minecraft.
Or like Animal Crossing, you mean? Like something similar to Minecraft? I'm a bit confused on the question.
Dude, yeah, go Animal Crossing. Go Animal Crossing.
Well, there's also there's two that I would say. There's one in chat that said Roblox. Like that has a lot of game modes. It's different. Like
don't let your child on Roblox.
Yeah, don't do that.
I would say Terraria is the way to go as far as like crafting, survival, exploring. It's a 2D like side scrolling. That I've probably put easily 1,000 hours into that game.
And Palworld will be doing a crossover with Terraria soon too. Remember that?
Really?
So, yeah, that was announced a couple months ago.
If you just Google, I just did Minecraft alternatives, you'll find a full list.
There you go.
Them, so.
Actually, you know what's funny though? That Lego Fortnite thing seems more appealing than Fortnite itself. Like, it looks adorable. It's like, oh my god,
it's kind of cool.
Legos. Gavin Feed None says the body type is a hallmark of the beginning of this BS. Ubisoft did it for Honor, then Destiny 2 did it. Suddenly it's a red flag. You see, that's what I was saying. It was the open doors. Lieutenant Cyrus says the keypad is for Intellivision games, as the Intellivision control pad had buttons. Problem is, most Atari fans are old, and your tail came 50 plus years old. Where's the market? Yeah, that's why I was also asking about the dubstep music. I'm like, I don't think this is the right genre for the people who want this.
Maybe some Four Tops or something for those.
Yeah. Nate says, I love it when the guests stay. Oh, thanks. Nate says, go! Yeah, we hit our goal over on YouTube. Thank you very much. John says Blabs react to an episode of Hoarders when? Well, here's the thing. I like collectors, right? I'm a massive one for over 20 years. I like them, but it needs to be clean and well kept and organized and not have mold and grossness, okay? Ew. Ugh. Nick says BioShock has some overt political philosophical themes, but it worked within the framework of the game, so it can be done, but it takes talented and creative writers. Yes.
It's like literally about a communist utopia that goes crazy. So yeah. Or utopia.
The Grateful Gamer says Linus Tech Tips failed to expose honey. Very odd. And Commodore Fan says there is free open source Classic Cube. Thank you very much. And I don't know if we're caught up on Rumble or not. I kind of lost count where you were.
We're not. I'll get to Jay Thomas. Babylon B roasted Disney Star Wars. Next movie, female Jedi turned to dark side once a month.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That's funny. Jay Thomas says, was that the NYC cat lady? She looked like the Beast from the 1980s TV show. Thank you, Jay Thomas. John Kanji came in, Blabs, with a $50 direct donation. Says, Bobas, please. I'm a simple man and would like to give the chat the boba after this DEI talk. Let's go, John. You're my boy. Thank you so much. Appreciate that greatly. Frost Lord says, if we're making puns, here's a good one for you. Did you hear about the triangle in the car accident? Now he's rectangle. Marco Reality says, don't forget the Elon Musk interview of Donald Trump on X. He originally asked Kamala to come on too, but she turned him down. It lasted 2+ hours and saw the creation of Doge. B. Barrett says, anytime you mention UHF, I have to donate. Badgers? We don't need no stinking badgers. Key Rock says, you ain't lived until you had shrimp and grits. Thanks, Key Rock. And yes, Mighty Megatron, thank you for that. Sorry we took so long to ban that dude over on Rumble. Frostlord says Terraria does have body type A and B thing too, FYI. Thank you for that, Frostlord. Flickerbox also came in with the 5. Says for those that wanted the win-loss for Hollywood movies, last year earnings was around $33 billion. 2024, $8.75 billion. The answer is they made money, like it or not. Thank you for that, Flickerbox. All right. That is a great place to wrap it up today. I would like to give the floor to Shags and Moonshot here to let everybody know where they can find themselves. So let's start with you, Shags. A quick reminder to everybody, you can find their links down below. Shags, fire away.
Find me on Twitter or X, Twitch, and YouTube every Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We do a show called The Midweek Hump where we just talk about the randomest stuff. We just have fun, laugh, take the piss out of each other. It's a lot of fun. Currently, I'm playing lots of Path of Exile 2. So if you're into that game, maybe you don't have a guild, where I'm currently working with Adam Krigler and kind of trying to grow that guild over there, the Sith Lords. So yeah, come join us. We're trying to run through some endgame maps, level with you, and just all around have a good time. So thank you for having me again, guys. Always a pleasure being here. Thank you, chat, for being so great.
For sure. Great stuff. Guys, do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up button while you're still tuning in. Magic?
Oh, that was the first time, Craig.
You said
the
it
first
wrong,
time.
I said it earlier. You didn't catch it.
Oh, I didn't catch it earlier. I was going to compliment you on how well you've done, and so thank you. But yeah, I'm Moonshot Arcade on most platforms, Rumble, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, X. And right now I'm focusing newly, as of yesterday, on Nintendo 64 retro gaming content. Most often my streams are focused on family-friendly retro gaming, but I always enjoy, breaking outside of the mold a little bit for shows like this. And yeah, I'm a part-time content. So chat, I know you're trying to pull me over to YouTube, and I'll see what I can juggle in with taking care of 3 kids full time. We'll see what we can do.
Let's go. All right, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Genuinely appreciate you guys, your support all throughout the week. Lots of wonderful support and a few yodeling pickles along the way, which is great. We'll be back at it Monday at 11 a.m. Central Time. Don't forget multiple videos throughout the week and the weekend to keep you guys updated on all the things. If you missed anything throughout the show, throughout the week, make sure you check those out. Coming up at 2 o'clock, we got a really funny video. If you missed it yesterday, the Nintendo Switch 2 leaked video, including smell-o-vision. That'll be coming up at 2 o'clock Central Time. in just about 40 minutes on the channel. With that said, have a great rest of your day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Go touch some grass, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.